Welcome. Hello. Good evening. How's it going out there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Tom, how you feeling? A little
Oh,
tired?
yes,
Yeah.
James. I'm feeling great though. Happy to be
Awesome.
here. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Just working on things here, trying to get the last touches on things done and get this book out to everybody. But yeah, just we finished. When was it? The fourth? 5 days ago was the end of the campaign as it is, and we're on the in-demand stage?
We are in demand. Yes.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, uh, yeah,
Still
so just,
available for
still
anyone
available.
who's missed out.
Exactly. Yeah, so just working on last coloring the last few pages here, um, and then working on trying to finish up working on the perks, one of which you know what? I'm going to, yeah, make that one adjustment I was telling you about on the, poster. Put some, like, a black shadow in there. That
Yeah.
way it'll feel less right heavy, and that should do it. Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that'll do it.
Sounds
And
great.
then, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then just gonna work on the bookmarks and what else? Bookmarks and maybe a couple other goodies for everybody. Oh, by the way, I've got all the black and white, parts done, so I need to compile that PDF and throw it over your way, and basically, I'm gonna throw it over to your way the way I would send it over to the printers. So it's gonna have all the crop marks on there, the printer marks, all the guides and everything. It'll be like individual pages. So that's another thing that I have to do.
All right.
But uh, anything going on your way, Tom?
Uh, what is going on my way?
You're coming to Orlando.
Yes, yes. Booked travel and lodging, and I
Hmm.
actually I talked to work today, and
Uh-huh.
they said that even if time off doesn't get approved, they'll give me like unpaid leave.
Oh, okay.
So, so, uh,
That's cool.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I will be in Orlando.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna be in Orlando from the 24th to November 1st. The meetup's gonna be on October 30th. Well, I'm actually gonna be leaving early on the 1st, but, I booked I got our tickets. We're going to be seeing, uh, what is it? Comedians of
Compound.
Compound? Yeah,
Yeah,
with Chrissy Mayer and, who was the guy?
I don't know.
Um,
There was two guys, I think.
yeah, yeah, I can't it's the one guy who's used to be um oh, geez, what's his name? I'm horrible with names, but you all know that. Uh, and that'll be on Thursday the 27th, pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, booked that
Yep.
today. So, the dinner included, candlelight dinner for us, man. What do you think about
Ooh,
that? Ooh,
romantic.
romantic. Yeah,
Yes.
jinx. No, but okay,
Isn't
so,
that going to be like Sweetest Day or something? Isn't that somewhere in October? Or is that like next week?
uh, I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's like it's like fake Valentine's Day.
Oh,
It's just a Hallmark holiday.
uh, I've never heard of that. Hey, what's up, Wakizashi? How you doing there? Uh, yeah, I've never heard of that. But,
The
do you know
15th.
oh,
Saturday,
okay.
October 15th is Sweetest Day. So,
Huh.
told you it
Well,
was next week.
yeah, I never knew that. We've over here in Japan, we've got, White Day and Valentine's Day. Have you ever heard of these?
Not White Day, but Valentine's Day,
Yeah, we've got a
yes.
White Day. We've got it's problematic.
It sounds very
So the deal here is on Valentine's Day, this is very matriarchic society. On Valentine's Day, oh, hello, Mrs. Flu. Thank you. Uh, yeah, thank you. You have a good day too. Um, and say hello to Mr. Tox. I wonder if you. I guess they're going out to Orlando. I'm assuming. What is White Day? Yes. So yeah, it's basically they have Valentine's Day here in Japan, but on Valentine's Day, only girls, women, give chocolate to men, and then on White Day, men give chocolate back to women or presents. So, you know, the guy gets to choose who he gives back to, I guess. But, they got, like, all kinds of systems, like Giri Choco, like, where you it's kind of like compulsory Valentines, like, you give it to your coworkers or stuff like that. Um, then you got, like, I think it's called, like, Tomo is it they call it Tomo Choco? I don't know what they call it. Like, where you give it to your friends, and yeah, stuff like that. But it was basically made by the Meiji. I think it was Meiji, was either Meiji or Morinaga, one of the 2 big chocolate companies. They invented White Day, to kind of, for a marketing scheme. Yeah, yeah, there's a bunch of them over here. I think what is it? Tomorrow is actually, tomorrow is, sports it's the sports day, right? That's tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you're not gonna be in Orlando? Oh, that's a shame. For some reason, I was thinking you guys might be out there. Wow. Have to, meet up some other time then. Yeah, tomorrow's a sports day, that's right. And then or fitness day, I guess you could call it fitness day. And then also in November in November, they have culture day. There's just all these little random holidays all over the place. They have Sea Day, Mountain Day here. um, Respect for the Elderly Day. Well, Marine Day, I guess, would be your ocean Marine Day, like Umi no Hi, Marine Day. What other kind of random festivals do we have here? Uh, oh, geez. Well, I mean, you have Hinamatsuri, which basically is Girls' Day, and then Kodomo no Hi, which is the children's festival, but it's basically for boys. Ah, that's too bad. Golden Week, yes, the whole uh, Golden Week. It's nice. Sometimes we have a Silver Week too, if you get your 2, public holidays in the same week. Yes, Golden Week is a week of chaos. Then you have your Obon, which is Obon is your, it's basically like your Dia de los Muertos, where all the family gets together and they take lanterns to the graves to bring back their relatives to their homes, where they have all kinds of nice big meals and everything, and then after the Obon period is over, I think it's 3 days, uh, then oh, hey, what's up, Rocky?
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
¿Qué onda?
Oh, ¿cómo
Konnichiwa.
está?
Da. Hello,
No,
everybody.
I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm just giving a, like, all explanation of all of the festivals and stuff over here.
Oh, that's good because you're very festive people over there, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They like to celebrate. I mean, it's
Good
like,
morning, Jaffo.
good morning, Jeffo. Good morning, everyone. Good. How's it going?
Yeah, tomorrow's the sports fitness day. Fitness day. So all the
Fitness day.
schools are off, but like over here they have a thing called the Undokai, which is basically like your sports day.
Mm-hmm.
All of the families get together. They go and cheer on their kids who have like this big, huge. That's just this big, huge deal at the school. They have all these tents up. They're like they set it all up in the track and field area,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like all kinds of games and dances and singing and competitions, races, and some of the parents get involved. It depends on like the age group, but they have it from, kindergarten all the way up through high school. Um, and it's apparently the Brits were the ones that introduced that to Japan. I was looking it up.
Really?
Yeah, it was like this, the whole idea is to keep everybody in shape and fit, and it's to focus on their health and sports and activity, and um, And I don't think they do that in the UK anymore, but they've still doing that in Japan since I think it was like the 1940s or 50s. Was it like 1952 or something like that? I can't remember. I looked it up the other day. How you doing, Eric?
Oh, I'm so wiped out.
Oh, you had a big one
drank
last night, didn't you?
magnificently. I drank like a fish last night.
I was surprised to see you today. I was thinking you weren't going to be able to hop on.
I slept it off. I got so much content to make, man. I got tomorrow off, which is a national holiday.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I don't mind.
It's Columbo Day, right? Columbo?
Yeah. Watching Columbo all day, which is a good show. It holds up. Young people like to watch Columbo for some reason. I like that. Hey there, angry Canadian.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we lost last night, 5-3. But it was fun all the same.
Like, hey, man.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. You kids know what a hangover is? It means you're drunk. No. It means I was drunk last night.
Exactly.
School of Rock, Jack Black, everyone.
Looks like Jeff was having some computers. Can't get it up. Needs to pump it up with some Viagra. That'll work. Just throw it in the disk drive.
I woke up at like 2 in the morning and I popped like 4 Advil. So, that helped. I slept.
What did you have to drink?
I did like 2 pints of Guinness and 5 pints of Miller Lite at the game.
Hey,
that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Man, I don't know what it is. Like beer, I could just drink it just forever, and I just get full. But other things kind of rock me. Like if I do any kind of tequila or stuff like that, it just does not go well with the body at all.
I can't drink hard liquor anymore.
Yeah, same
but
here.
I will. I do fancy a margarita here and there. I did go sober for a while. During lockdown, I stopped drinking totally. So I was sober for like a year. That was a new experience.
I haven't had anything to drink for over a month.
Nice.
Well, it's because I got hit with the coof again.
Oh.
And then after that, I had a bout with this foot, which I'm thinking it might not have been gout like I thought it was. I've been doing because it started hurting again. I've been doing some stretches and stuff to it. And I got my blood test back, and it didn't look like it was too, it didn't look anything really out of the ordinary. So I don't know. I've just been doing some. Oh, here we go, Bandito. What's up, man? Nobody wants to hear about my feet problem. How you doing, man?
Buenos dias.
Hey.
¿Qué onda?
¿Qué sabe? Okay.
Ponme al día.
I actually changed my online avatar.
What is it?
It's Orc War Boss, because in the Warhammer community right now, people are celebrating Orktober.
October, yay! Oh, that's the power of geeky goodness. That really is. I mean, that just Where's Grant Gregory? I wanted him to make fun of my coffee.
I don't know.
He's basking in his.
That guy's got like 30,000 subs now, so I don't know. He's too big for us now.
I know, huh?
He's gone big time. No, I reckon he's putting in some more work for. We've been talking like on direct DMs and stuff, but I imagine he's. I don't know. We haven't really talked
he'll
about
be
that.
here when he's here. I'm blessed.
I'm like I feel bad. Like I feel like, I hope you guys don't feel like you have to go out of your way to be on here. You know what I mean?
No, I actually like being on here.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I appreciate it, guys.
I do have a big day though so I'll have to play it by ear to see when I can boot or not.
That's cool, man. And
I have a shitload of fucking content to make. I'm out of content, and I'm on Roger Ryan again tonight.
Really?
Roger Athe is having me on part 2 of his.
I also saw you were on
reality based.
Yeah, I saw you were on Thinking Critical the other day.
Yes, I was on Wes's station yesterday, and I was on Polly's for a few hours too. Latino Slant. He had a member stream, and I was like, "Fuck it!" It popped on. He was like, "Hey, man, where you been?" Like exactly,
Yeah.
And then signing off, a Culture Casino popped in, and we were like 2 ships passing in the night, and I was like, "Oh, damn it!" I've been on for 2.5 hours. Gotta bounce. I gotta go to the game.
Yeah, and just last week, Noob just celebrated her 500 subscribers.
Yes.
She's already up to 700 now, though, isn't she?
I see
Yeah.
she's a rising star.
She's a
Mhm.
rising star.
I love
Big burp.
I mean, leave that. I'm gonna call him on that tonight. I'm gonna say, dude, leave that to Brittany Venti.
Well, you
But
know.
if she does it, it's cute. When you do it, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just busting his balls.
Yeah.
Thanks to your 31 days of Halloween, I saw
Cool.
I saw the Abominable Doctor fight.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. What did you think?
I loved it. I thought there was the one funniest part was when the brass unicorn came catapulting and killed the doctor, and they had to
Yes.
twist him out.
Yes. These awful, over the top Baroque killings, based after the 7 plagues of Egypt.
There were 10.
10 plagues. Yes, 10. That's right.
There's 7 sins. There's
7
10,
sins.
there were 10 plagues.
Eric's experiencing one of the plagues right now. It's called a hangover.
Yes. And he rode a pale horse named Alka-Seltzer.
This dog screensaver in the background's freaking me out.
I love the dog. I needed some puppies this morning.
So that's why you look like the Unabomber smashed.
Yeah. Hold on, I can improve that. Here we go. Here we go. All right, now I feel. And actually, these are working for me. It's too bright. The world's way too bright right now. Hey, man, wow, man.
Well, the sun's not even up over here in California.
Sun went down way early over here today.
Yeah.
We're in our fall weather here now. I love it. Favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Is it a puppy?
Yeah, they're all in
bad.
bad.
Loving that puppy. I wish I had a puppy.
I actually have three poodles living in the house that are my stepmoms.
Oh, wow.
And they get
Suffering friends.
Yeah, they get so hyperactive.
They're very high energy.
Tom's got like 30 dogs, I think.
No, I don't. I got 2. two dogs and 2 cats.
Like I said, about 30 hits.
Yeah. 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 kids. They're all the same.
Yeah. Just put some food in a bowl on the ground. It'll be fine.
One of them will eat it.
Yeah, they can go to the bathroom outside,
Exactly.
Yeah, right now I'm working on some of the editing that Angry Canadian sent me.
Yeah.
And plus, I got me a sketch pad. I just got me a sketch pad that just came in this week with a couple art supplies, so I can start that storyboarding.
Nice,
cool.
An electric one or a paper one?
Just a paper one.
Nice.
Speaking of art, I guess I should start getting to work here, huh?
Hello.
Yeah. So what I'm working on today is I've got to color a few more of these pages for the book. And then throw those on the computer, line them up with the black and white versions with the text, and then throw those off to get our proof. But we've basically got the black and white one finished. Got all the lettering done. Got the covers, the cover for the black and white, interior art. Everything's pretty much set in stone, ready to be sent off. It's crazy. It's surreal.
Nice.
It doesn't feel like it's happening.
It is happening.
There we go. So this one's
it's happening.
It's happening. Yeah, so I've been trying to go back and get just some references for inking, and for some reason I've always loved the inking style in the Punisher POV. I love their color palette. It's similar to what's going on with. I like a lot of the texture that they have within the stuff here. It's crazy looking. I also like a lot of the inking going on with, of course, Batman Year One.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever? Did you get the graphic novel version of this?
Me, no. I got that in floppies when it released.
So
It
they
was-
recolored it
Oh, gee, really?
every single cell like this.
Uh-huh.
They went back and redid all of the every single cell like
I'm
this.
not
Yeah.
a fan of
Yeah.
recolorings, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
Or-
this one works though.
yeah. For me to get like the panel layout, I got a copy of the hard copy book of the Avengers with
Mhm.
it's the entire Kurt Busiek and George Perez run.
Nice.
See, for example, this is the original one right here. And yeah, I'm usually not a fan of recoloring as well, but
Mhm.
the colors of this, like the way that they do it, are it's just it's not too vibrant. It's still got a very like a subdued tone to it, a very dark feeling to it. But yeah, it's and they don't go in there and you could see it if you get really close. You could see a lot of texture
Yeah.
and a lot of just splatters and things like that. So they haven't really, you know, like I think this was the old, but it's got the old style color. Yeah, I think it works well. But I like their color palette in this one. So I kind of try to mimic some of the colors that got in there.
I
So
always
while
felt,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
I always felt like the Batman Year One itself had like already had a tone, like a literal sepia tone to it. You know what I mean? This kind of like nostalgic yesteryear-ish kind of thing. Yeah. Hello, Grant Gregory. Yeah, muted
Hey,
colors
how you
within.
doing, man?
Hey.
Yeah, muted colors within the highlights. Yeah.
I have to see it myself next time I'm at the. I'll be at the shop next week. Yes, I promised them I'd come in for bags, board. That's what I'll be doing on the show
Yeah.
next week. I'm gonna be doing my own BBC.
Oh,
I
cool.
need to. Yeah, so that's gonna be a good thing to do on my end in the background.
Speaking of, yeah. Well, actually, I don't even know if it has anything in common. I can't believe this. In 15 days, I'm going to be in America.
Nice.
That's crazy. 15 days.
Are you going to New York or anything, or?
No, it's going to be strictly Orlando. So basically, what I'm looking at doing is I get there on the 24th, like at like 9 o'clock at night. So I'm just going to go straight to the hotel, crash out. Of course, I'm going to have jet lag, so I'll wake up at like completely. On RRA's career.
Yes. Yes.
It's just gonna be completely jet lagged, so I'm just gonna chill out. But then the second day, I've got a couple commissions I have to work on, and I'm gonna be doing a call for commissions. I don't know if I'm gonna get any more or not, but I'm gonna put out a call for commissions while I'm there that week. I'm looking at doing 10 commissions, and I've got 3 set up already. So if anybody wants me to do any more work while I'm there, and I'm thinking of giving everybody something a little special who orders a commission during that time, like something, maybe some original, another like, what are they called? Whatever you, the cards that people, oh, what are they called? Whenever for like these campaigns and stuff, like whenever you just paint or draw on like little postcard size pieces of paper. What are those called, Tom? Do you know?
I usually know everything, but I'm flummoxed on this one.
It's like for like you see them for like a lot of the Indiegogo campaigns. Like the artists will draw on like little postcard sizes, and that'll be like a reach around.
Yeah. Watch out, Grant Gregory's a rising star too. His specials tonight. That premieres later today.
Oh, when is it? Has he decided the time?
He according to Ryan's tweet today, he's got 5 videos he's releasing for Rising Stars, and Mr. Grant Gregory is number 2 today.
Oh, okay. I was sorry. I was thinking about Grant's. Sorry, I thought you were talking about his 30,000.
His
stream.
How was
celebration?
That,
I don't
was
think
that already.
Decided. He said either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wednesday. Cool.
Awesome.
Wicked pisser.
I'll see if I can make it. I'll see. Yeah. So we just booked tickets to Chrissy Mayer and
nice.
Compound comedians of Compound Comedians. I always get the name wrong. They've got a show going on in Orlando, and I was like going, oh, you have an invite, Eric. Look at that.
Nice. See if I can make a friend. You have a weird. I have to be asleep by 8 p.m. or I turn into a pumpkin. And this time of year, you can really lose your head. Waka waka. Oh, man.
Waka waka.
Dude, you come up with the lamest dad jokes I've ever
I
heard.
do. It's because of the world is my children. Oh wow, it's a 24-hour stream. Nice.
Well, the way I read that text, it said 12 24-hour streams. I thought you're doing 12. No?
Well, that would be a lot of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sketch cards.
Sketch cards. That's
Sketch
cool.
cards. There we go.
There we go.
I was AFK.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
But
Such a simple word.
dude, that day I saw one of your videos of the soup of the day with chili. You're like, it's chili, so get chili. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
that is such
cold day, hot soup.
Hold on a second, guys.
I'm
I gotta pop out here real quick.
Got it.
I was like, dude, that is such a cheesy dad joke.
Dude, I make the worst puns I make the best soup with the worst puns, man. Yeah. Awesome. Anyone buy any new comic books?
No, I've been spending a lot of my money on Halloween decorations.
Nice. I got Night of the Ghoul by Scott Snyder and Francesco Francavilla. I messed up his name yesterday on Wes. But this is this I love his art style. Are you familiar with this guy's art?
No.
Okay, Francesco Francavilla, and he does his own arts and colors. That means he draws it, he inks it, and he colors it. And he's just it's very moody. He's got great panel progressions. He's a great visual storyteller, and he excels in doing creepy stuff.
So
And-
yeah,
Go ahead.
No,
No,
you
you
go
go.
ahead. You finish.
Yeah, you go.
All right.
Yeah, you go.
You know who's really good at doing creepy stuff? I think James might know him, but
Who's that?
Junji Ito. Junji
Oh.
Ito is great at doing creepy stuff.
Junji Ito. It sounds really familiar.
That's
Speaking of artist Junji Ito.
He did did like the Tomie series, Uzumaki.
Oh yes, yeah. This guy's I've seen his stuff before. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, he's like on a whole nother level. I actually read Uzumaki at night, and I couldn't go to sleep. I had to whenever I went to the bathroom, I had to turn on the hallway light. I was that scared.
Man, okay, so they have like lots of art competitions over here in Japan, like all the time for different, just a ton of different kind of art competitions. And if you ever go to any of the ones that they have like the high school students artwork up in, the majority of the artwork for high school students looks like Junji Ito stuff. It's just really, really dark, really decrepit, really just like there's a lot of like just the themes, a lot of themes about like death and suicide and
very edgy. Yeah,
it's really edgy stuff. All of the high school stuff is like that. And the first time I saw it, I was like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, I did some weird stuff when I was in high school too, but like to the point where I was like, man, these kids might need some counseling or like,
maybe that's
there's a lot of pain going on here.
I mean, I'd consider Junji Ito like the Stephen King of manga, because when you look at Junji Ito, he doesn't look like someone who would do that kind of stuff. He looks like a normal guy.
Right. I've got pictures of him. Here, I'll throw some pictures up right now. So these are just shit. Don't do that.
James, we began this conversation. Also, I mentioned Francesco Francavilla. Are you familiar with his art?
If I see it, I'll probably know it. What's it called again?
The anime or the
name of
the comic book.
Well, this one is a brand new one. It's called Night of the Ghoul. It's a horror book off of Dark Horse, but it's written by Scott Snyder, formerly of Batman, and Francisco Francavilla, who's this really impressive horror style of artist. He draws inks and colors all of his own pages. Such dynamic panels, great colors, great mood.
Francisco, what's the last name?
Francavilla.
Frank. How do you spell that?
Francavilla. Francavilla.
Got him. Here we go.
And he did Afterlife with Archie, which was an
nice.
amazing, but it was such a disappointment because it just ended with no resolution. So I literally have 8 issues of it. Yeah, he's really should look up his Batman 1970. It was it was a concept that he had and that it didn't go anywhere, but he did this stylized 70s movie type of Gotham in 1970 with all the Joker, Harvey Dent, Batman, his Batmobile. His Batmobile looks like the Batmobile in Matt Reeves. Muscle car, Detroit. Hockey, 70s car.
He did like a 1935 Batman as well. I've seen his art. He's done this with other kinds of characters as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done it with. I see he's done it with Christopher Lee's Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who presented this? I believe Chris Gore actually talked about this on his show.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris Gore talked about this on his show. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the person he was talking about because he did like a 1935 rendition of Batman and other of the villains, and they're like, why can't we do something like this?
This is that's.
I see the book. You've got Night of the Ghoul. I love the color palette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's just and you should check out because I wouldn't suggest it because it failed as a title. It didn't fulfill the promise. It never completed, and it was due to some undisclosed internal drama between the creators, I believe. And but it was such a good book. It was called Afterlife with Archie. It was an Archie comic book, and it was done in the Walking Dead kind of style. So it was if you know your Archie characters, they're thrown into a zombie apocalypse. And it's just really, it was so good. But then it ended suddenly and there was no resolution. There was no final issue, and there never will be. And that's the worst part.
A lot of his art reminds me of the old Giallo films of the 70s.
It's beautiful work. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this guy's good. Yeah, this guy's good. And this is an interesting story because it's about a horror movie. And, or is it a movie? And it's the same battery too. If you know your Batman, Scott Snyder did Batman in the New 52 for 5 years with the Great Capullo. It was a really good run in my humble opinion. But before that, Bruce Wayne was dead. So Dick Grayson was Batman. And he's got one of the best Dick Grayson Batman stories. And it's called The Black Mirror. And it's the same art battery team here. It's Scott Snyder on words and Francavilla on art. And it brings up one of the best. Yeah, there we go. It brings up one of the best Batman supervillains, and it's James Gordon Jr. And he's got he's got no alias. He's got no mask. He's just he's a real psychopath. Emotionally damaged, and and he like preys on his crippled sister. Barbara was still in a wheelchair, so it was basically James versus Barbara for a while in there, and but both being the sons of the heroes. So you have Dick Grayson Batman versus Jim Gordon Jr. It's really good, really moody art.
I'm really digging this art style. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Batman 72. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's he's smoking a cigarette. Isn't that Yeah,
that's so cool, isn't it? That's so 70s,
Yeah. And,
I was going to show you some. Oh, sorry. That's the picture of that.
God,
Jinja.
that scared the crap out of me.
Hello.
That cat's got some kind of
That's
like
that's actually a panel from his comedy from his comedy manga. It was basically about him and his wife adopted two cats,
Mhm.
and he's trying to earn their trust, and he sees them as monsters.
that looks like some kind of whatchamacallit. Um, forgetting the name again. The guy who did all the monsters, Cthulhu,
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft. Thank you,
Lovecraft.
Tom. Lovecraftian work going on here.
Yeah, he actually inspired some of his work from Lovecraft.
Yeah, you could definitely. Cool, great. I love this color palette. Now
Yeah.
I've got to go get to work tomorrow.
Ah, be inspired.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Time to get back to work here. Here we go.
Back to action.
Well,
Triceratops.
so what I've been doing is I've been working with mainly on my coloring. I've been doing gouaches and acrylic inks. So yeah, for example, here's like a page that I was doing right now.
Ooh.
Wow.
This is why I was like, I thought you would dig the Francavilla here.
Yeah, like
got
I
it.
try with that this very muted tones.
Hmm.
But if you look really closely, there's a lot of texture and things going on in each one of them.
Mhm.
I use a lot of like towels and rubbing and toothbrushes and all kinds of stuff to try to get that desired effect. So here's like another
Aw.
like there's just like a lot going on in here. Yeah, there's like if you look really close, there's all kinds of splatters and stuff in there going on.
Mhm.
There you go. I'm no one of those guys, but I'm hoping to be one day. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all kinds of practice.
Exactly.
There's some fighting
That's-
scene. I redid this fight scene, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I redid it. I didn't
thought-
like the old one.
I thought I actually liked the old one.
The old one was a little too hard to read.
Mhm.
Like it felt, and a lot of the proportions were kind of. It was just too much going on. I felt.
Hello, Ryan Roger.
Yeah. But
Hello.
Ryan Roger. Oh, hey, what's going on? How's it going there? Yeah.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Good
But
evening.
do you know, Bantito, sometimes the old one, like, geez. So I hate some of my stuff, and then everybody else is like, oh, no, that's what you want to go with. And I just,
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean,
yeah.
right now I'm looking through some of the writing that I sent to Angry Canadian, and he's like, and I see the edits he's doing. I'm like, huh. Now that I read it over again, I could see where he's coming from.
Aw.
I finally finished American Psycho last night.
The movie? The book?
Yeah, no, the movie.
You read-
Oh, happy birthday there, Grant.
Happy
Sorry.
birthday, Grant.
Happy birthday.
Didn't know it was your birthday the other day.
I have an idea. You could wrap a fish in. You can wrap a fish with the old art, and you can send it to him in the mail.
Hey, no. In Sicily, that's bad. That's
Hey,
bad.
I mean, Cuco Brazzi sleeps with the fishes.
I
It's
just watched The Godfather. the other
Man,
day.
I will tell you, every time I watch
Thanks a
that
lot.
movie, I pick up something new, man. I've been watching
know,
it all my
yeah.
life. You
Yeah.
know what I picked up new this time? Because I watch with the captions on now, just because I like to absorb
Yeah.
all the dialogue.
Yeah.
When they're taking Tessio away, I always thought it was like just the car backfiring. There was a gunshot.
Really?
They dropped him right there. Offhand, when they're driving away, you hear a gunshot. And can you get me off the hook for old time's sake?
Sorry, sorry, not this time, Tessia.
Sorry, not this time. And they take him away, and then you hear, I thought it was the car backfiring, because we hear a car backfiring earlier in the movie, because that was a really common thing back then.
Right.
And it meant to confuse you, I guess, with gunfire.
Grant Gregory says, watch it without the audio, black and white with subtitles. It's life changing.
Wow. Oh, that sounds a cool idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love this scene. I've always wanted to get a frame print of Clemenza showing Mike how to make a sauce. You know, that one scene of him just like,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
just like I'm
Yeah.
a cook, and I adore that story beat. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
What happened to Clemenza? Wasn't in the second one, was he?
He was probably, I think he was already dead. I think
Yeah.
Frankie Pantangeline was was head Clemenza's family.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that was the whole thing, because he also lived
Right.
in the old Corleone compound in New York too.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the guy whose brother came in there at the end, right?
Yeah.
During the
Frankie
court
Five
scene.
Angels. Frankie.
Yeah.
Pantangeline. He was like, he just
He
wanted
saw his
own.
brother. Is like, uh-oh.
Oh yeah, but it was just yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What
Yeah.
a great movie.
What good
Yeah,
movies.
The part where
Oh yeah, you were
where-
saying about American Psycho as well.
yeah. In American Psycho, what really got me was the ending, because
Yes.
it's like, was it
Yeah,
all
It
in
was
his
it was all in
all
his
in his
mind,
head.
man.
Yeah, it was all in his
was all
head.
in his
That's the
head?
punchline.
Yep.
Yeah. It was
Did
all
he-
in the journal. Yeah, his
Yeah. He was just messed up. That was all. That's why whenever his secretary came in and she just goes through the journal, you could see it's all basically just his doodling, all this
Yeah.
stuff that's going on.
That's where his mind, is
Yeah.
degrading.
Such a
Yeah.
good movie, though. I haven't
Yeah.
watched it in a long time.
Mm.
What movie did I watch the other day? Because I always put like movies on the back. Oh no, I watched Aliens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I just started watching Salem's Lot, the original 1970
Good for you.
70 version, last night.
American Psycho is 22 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Do you know a movie that Christian Bale was in that a lot of people don't, really talk about? That I really enjoyed was Reign of Fire.
Yeah, huh? I mean, yeah, that was hit or miss with me, but I really like the whole Star Wars interpretation, like you're putting on the show for the kids.
Uh-huh.
The
Oh yeah,
Star Wars.
Yeah. And Woody Harrelson's
Yeah.
character in there as well. Like it was really rad. Yeah. 13th Warrior is another. The Mac. Oh, how do you read that? How's that read? Hey, what's up, Nerd Portal?
The Machinist.
Ohio, The Machinist. Have you guys ever seen that?
Which one?
That's where he had to lose a ton of weight. Ugh, that's a dark movie.
Oh, that one. The
Yeah.
one where he looked like he was all sickly.
Yeah. Empire of the Sun. I've watched that a few times. That was a great one too.
He was a
Steven
kid.
Spielberg.
He was in
kid
Kenneth
that way.
Branagh's Henry V as well as a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a great scene because it's a. Sorry, do you know your Shakespeare?
A bit.
A bit. Okay, so it's Henry V, and
Uh-huh.
it's a flashback scene to like Henry IV Part 2, where it's Bardolph and his gang, and it's the young Prince Hank before he's the king, and he's just sowing his oats, hanging out with the flotsam and jetsam criminals of England, of London, and so he's the little kid in the scene, and there's like Dame Judi Dench is in that, in the same scene too. So like Christian Bale is a trained Shakespearean actor since a child.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's really interesting scene that you see like the spectrum of English Shakespearean acting from Dame Judi Dench to Christian Bale, in this one scene, and then there's Kenneth Branagh himself in that same scene too, because he's directing it. But it's like just a flashback to a pub where one of the men, his name is Bardolph, and he got caught looting a French church, and while they were in Henry V, and they were going to hang him, and it goes, and it's this brilliant flashback to Henry IV Part 2, where Bardolph asks him, "When you're king, will you hang him, man?" He's like, "No, I won't. You will." And it's set up to a payoff and to his own execution, and it's really creepy. It's really, really well done. Kenneth Branagh's Henry V. Check it out. It makes me cry every time.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen his Hamlet.
Yeah, that's good. Kate Winslet.
That had Robin Williams in it too, didn't it?
Yeah, and That's well, geez, was it Charlton Heston that was the leader of the troop?
Yes,
And
yes.
the whole mousetrap thing. Yeah, that was a powerful.
It's been a while
scene.
since I've seen that.
It's so good. It's one of those long movies that you're like, this is so good.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's 4 hours long.
I you know what? I'm one of those guys. Like, for example, Ben-Hur. Love those really long ones where they have like the intermission.
Yes,
and you know you're gonna spend like a day watching it.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
My dad loves those movies, and
they're great.
And he'll just sit down and watch them all day.
Yep.
Especially if it's a western. If it's a western, you sit down. He sits down. Don't bother me for the next 4 hours.
Escapism,
Escapism. Yes.
This is my.
I roll with my bard and always in striking distance. Yes, this is the complete works of William Shakespeare. Had this for years.
Yeah, oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, and the page is always it's always at Henry V. Scene 3, Part 1, Act 1. Is that how you say it? Once more to the breach, their friends, once more, or plug up that hole with our English dead. In peacetime, nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blasts of war blow in our ears, then imitate the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard favored rage. Beautiful words. I love that. It's just, I'm a peaceful guy, but sometimes you gotta step up.
That is true. That is true.
Indeed.
Hey, have you guys ever heard of the Giallo films?
Giallo.
How do you always spell that? And is it a genre or?
Yeah, it's a genre.
I've never heard of that.
It's
no matter if I do halt. I have the Mr. Grant Gregory's thrown in some.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Grant.
It's getting cultured in here. Watch out.
It is. I know, man.
The benefits of a classical education.
Okay.
And Alexander wept when he saw.
I'm bringing this up because it has to do with the holiday. It has to do with the upcoming holiday. Giallo was a.
How do I spell that? Is it X?
No, it's G. It's Gillo.
Gillo, and Giallo was his name. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I won't do that again.
Okay.
Promise.
Yeah, Giallo was a form of was kind of a genre of movies that were big in Italy throughout the 70s, and they were basically murder mysteries, but they were also very gory. They had a lot of scantily clad women.
Ooh, I like that.
And a lot of it were, and a lot of the kills that and practical effects were what inspired the modern day slasher. There's
Do
this.
Go ahead. That's how you spell it.
Oh, that Giallo is where you got watching movies in black and white without the audio, Mr. Grant Gregory.
There's do you know Mike Patton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
What's that?
No.
He's the lead singer of
Faith
No More, and also a couple of other bands like
I know
Mr. Bungle.
Faith No More.
Mr. Bungle, Fantomas, Tomahawk. I can't remember all of them. He's in a ton, but he did like a solo. Well, he did the vocals, and he worked with like an orchestra. And some of what you're describing there, I'm sure he did music for some of those movies. It's called. He sings in Italian, and it is called Mike Patton. Hold on a second, Mike Patton. Mondo Cane. And he seems like a whole bunch of songs for like movies and TV shows from Italy, like the 70s and things like that. but some of them are like really. He takes like these really crazy interpretations of them,
Uh-huh.
or not interpretations, but he manipulates them into like some really hardcore, heavy stuff. But other ones, he just, they're all romantic sounding. But
Mhm.
I think some of the titles that you're talking about there with was it the Jalo?
Yeah.
I
There-
think some of those movies he was singing the theme songs to.
yeah, there's actually this one called Twitch of the Death Nerve
Uh-huh.
that Friday the 13th actually stole a kill from.
Oh.
In Friday the 13th one where the counselors are having sex in a sleeping bag, and then
He
Jason.
takes him, hits him up against the tree.
No, they
Oh.
he gets it. The killer gets a flagpole and he stabs through one of them, and it stabs through the other one, and
Ooh, is that part 3
Oh,
3D?
no, that's actually part one.
Huh.
Okay. I just invested in the Shout Factory box set of the Friday the 13th movies. It was half off. I couldn't say no, man. It was $160 on retail, and I got it for $80. And I'm
Really?
like,
There you
for all 12 of the movies, including Freddy versus Jason and the Friday the 13th remake, which I think is a Blumhouse movie too. And I never seen that one.
Yeah, it was there was Jason's mother actually got a flagpole and stabbed one counselor through the back, and it went all the way through, and you could see like from the bottom of the bed the flagpole goes down, and they actually take that scene, that similar scene like that from Twitch of the Death Nerve.
Mandokani, that means I send reads. Is that it? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's some.
Oh yeah, that was. Oh yeah, you're right. That was in Bay of Blood. You're right, Matt Gregory. I'm getting my.
Where do you guys How do you guys? Where do you put all this knowledge at? Where do you store it?
I just watch. I just watch YouTube videos of people who are smarter than me.
I have a lot of them here on the panel. Everybody.
I wouldn't say that. I'm a college dropout.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
dude, college, schmollege. Doesn't matter. What was I doing here?
You
Skin
are coloring
tones.
your paint.
Well, yeah, I'm doing these tents. They're inside of a tent, so I'm doing all the walls right now.
Really like that close up right there.
Oh yeah, right here.
Yeah.
It's got her undressing in his eyes.
Yeah. Like very, very creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
There's actually like this guy who does reviews of some of these movies called The Horror Geek. His name's Mike Bracken, and he goes by The Horror Geek. And this guy looks like a big Viking, but really he's actually a competitive power lifter. But in actuality, he's a geek.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What is it?
Grant Gregory hiding things in where,
inside of his anus.
I hope you have a good long shower, sir. You don't spread any bacteria or anything. It's one thing to be hiding things there, but it's another thing to be sharing microbes with other people. I mean, I draw the line there.
TMI, dude.
TMI.
Who, me or Grant?
Grant.
Well, that's
That's Grant.
That's just Grant. That's our Grant, okay?
Yeah, I know.
It took me years to develop a proper filter that I could be let into public society again. So, I encourage all young people to help foster and curate that filter. But that's through through living and learning.
In living color.
I loved that show.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
Oh man, actually, I took Candyman the wrong way because I have an aunt with cerebral palsy, and I really didn't think it was fucking funny. But I thought it was funny, but I was just hit a bit too close to home for me to think to really approve of it. So I
Yeah.
secretly I think it's funny, but I'm like, come on, man, dude, seriously.
Hey, that's what comedy's all about, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. My
And
favorite.
Fire Marshal Bill, I mean, I just
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
I didn't see
Yeah.
burn victims as being funny either. I grew up next to a family of firefighters, so I saw my share of like burns and burn scars. So it's just seeing Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something. Just like,
Let me tell you something.
but the Star Trek shit he did was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim Carrey should have been a Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That's one of the one of my favorite a sci-fi comedy I really like is Galaxy Quest.
Uh-huh.
That's a classic.
Great. I haven't seen that in ages.
Oh man, I went back and watched that the other day, and it's so funny still.
Must
It'll
hold
always be
up.
funny. Yeah.
It must be better than any of the new Trek anyway, too.
Yeah.
I won't watch any of the new shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it that a the Orville, why is it a parody of Star Trek? Why is that better than the new stuff that they're coming out with Star Trek?
Because somebody who loves it shepherds and curates that property and the vision. I mean, that's actually a really good example of singular vision of a maestro or a maestra conducting the symphony of different artists that contribute to this final product, and not having a writer's room full of ideologues and a splintered, ADD kind of vision to it, like, a divergent view. No, you need this singular view, like the Joss Whedon or the Steven Spielberg or George Lucas. And I wish I had some women, creators, to throw in here. I don't. I'm sorry, but
It's just it's part of the game,
But yeah,
It's just reality.
It's like this like singular vision of like a chef. I run a kitchen, and you got a lot of humanity involved, and you need to be able to give orders, and you need to delegate stuff, and it needs to come together on the plate.
Yeah, it's like the old saying: too many cooks, not
Too many chefs and not enough. Yeah, too many chiefs
no,
and
too
not
many
enough Indians.
Indians. Yeah,
Too many
That's
cooks
not-
in the kitchen.
That's not very appropriate for Indigenous Peoples Day weekend. I'm sorry. Around in Boston, we call people chief. Hey, chief. Hey, relax, chief. Don't call me
Yeah.
chief. Like, hey, wait. What are you, a snap ahead? You some kind of chowder head? Well, you got chowder for brains or something there? Kid, killer, tough guy. I love Boston.
Oh, sorry. Let me throw is Tim here? Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
It's chowder. It is
It's
chowder.
chowder.
Hello.
How's it going there?
TMI, Grant. TMI.
That's all. That's okay. You know what I mean? We all have bums, and we all hide different things in our bums. Usually it's the same shit, but different people.
In jail, it's called a suitcase.
Oof.
Yeah, but he's from Australia. Who knows what kind of shit he puts up there?
Marmite,
I was gonna say that.
How dare you?
Yeah,
kangaroo tails,
that's a national treasure.
Vegemite.
Vegemite. How you feeling, Grant?
Yeah, good man, good. And yourself?
Yeah, doing good.
I've got to be a little quiet. Everyone's asleep, so
Good. I'm
No problem.
feeling Genki, man. I'm feeling Genki, Ryan Roger. I'm alive. It was a fun night last night at the hockey game, at the ice hockey game.
who was playing?
My Boston Bruins versus the New Jersey Devils in the last preseason game. And it was wonderful because it was a full house. And I bought a very expensive jersey for the year. I got my Bruins jersey for the year. God, I've spent so much fucking money on beer inside the arena. Oh, man. But my childhood best friend took me. I got to meet his wife and his kids for the first time. We hadn't gone to a game together in decades. Like we grew up in Boston. We would sneak into the old Boston Garden and watch hockey games. You know, you just,
I remember the old Boston Gardens. That's where some of the best NBA and Lakers and Celtics games happened.
A lot of wrestling too, old style,
Yeah.
old school wrestling.
Favorite old school wrestlers?
Roddy Piper, Ricky the
Oh,
Dragon
yes.
Steamboat,
Ric Flair, Macho
Ric
Man,
Flair,
Macho
Sting.
Man Randy Savage,
Jake the Snake
Sting.
Roberts.
I like Sting, like because
Wait.
Sting,
WCW was new back in
Okay,
the
so-
80s in a way.
But he
Ravishing Rick,
wasn't Sting then. He was the Stinger.
Very
Very different.
Like I think
Ravishing,
I got off the boat when Hogan went Hollywood. That's pretty much when I stopped paying attention to wrestling. But
Same here.
yeah,
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh, well,
yeah.
you missed the rise and fall of Disco Inferno then.
I did, didn't I? I must have. So I missed the whole Triple H thing. I missed the whole Degeneration X thing. I missed the whole Suck It thing. I missed all of that.
The rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, the Rise of the Rock.
Yeah, I missed all of that. Yeah,
I mean, I missed all of that. But I had Jimmy Snuka. I had Jimmy fucking Superfly Snuka.
I had Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, the king. Fucking A,
King,
man.
We watched that when I was a kid, man.
Blackjack Mulligan and the Claw, and they would X out the screen. They would put this giant red X on the screen when Blackjack Mulligan did the Claw. It was, you can't show this on TV. That was great.
That's cool. Undertaker.
Yeah, Undertaker and Paul Bearer too. I thought that was interesting. That was cute because that was like, that was like story time.
Yeah, the WCW didn't want to Mark Calloway, who played the Undertaker. WCW didn't want to renegotiate his contract, and he was there as Mean Mark at the time, and so he decided to go to WWE.
Yeah. Back in my day, it was the WWF.
Yeah.
We had rock and wrestling and the cartoon in the mornings and the Saturday mornings there with Wendy Richter.
I always remember going into the video store trying to find the new WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Because watched all of those, dude.
I love Piper's Pit.
Yeah,
I love Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper to me is why I love Ethan Van Sciver, because Piper's Pit is alive and well. It's over on EVS's channel.
Yeah,
and he is the Roddy Piper of comic books.
Yeah,
and that show is Piper's Pit.
EVS and Roddy Piper have two things: they say what they want on their minds, and they don't care who they hurt.
Something. Love Piper, man. Oh, and he was such a hero for suicide prevention as well. He was a real hero. He was touring till the day he died, and I followed him on Twitter, and that was a sad day when we lost him.
Yeah,
because he was an actual hero. He did a lot of good for people.
Yeah.
Good morning there, Snowdub.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Hey,
I got a nice good chat going on here today. A bunch of people popping in. Appreciate it.
Hey,
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Eric, send me your email, because I just finished typing out the background for my Call of Cthulhu character, and I want you to read it since you're a Bostonian.
Well, cool. I'll send that to you on a Twitter DM.
Yeah.
So we can keep that on the DL. I like to be mysterious.
All right.
Nice looking colors there. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying to
it's
keep
done.
this muted
Yeah.
tone to it. But then what I do is I go in with these. I just take like this wet. This is like a workshop towel.
Uh-huh.
So it's really, really durable. And then I get it. Just put a little bit of water on it, and then I go into my gouaches here. Do you know what a gouache is?
A gouache?
A gouache is an opaque watercolor.
Okay.
So your plain old watercolors, they're very, very transparent.
Mm-hmm.
But your gouaches are your opaque, and they're water soluble, so they'll never, even if you apply water to them years after the fact, they'll still, bleed. So I put down the acrylic ones. The inks are acrylic based, so that's whenever they dry, they'll no longer move around. They won't bleed or anything. And so then I go on top of those with like some of these gouache washes, So I'll just take this and dab it in there and just rub it around afterwards. So I'm just getting like the base colored right now.
Well, there's nothing better than a gouache wash. Everyone knows that.
Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like a. So, what about what are we expecting with House of the? Oh, how far along are you with House of the Dragon, Eric?
Me, I'm only on episode 2, but you can spoil away. You can talk about anything you want.
I haven't seen any episodes.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Are you interested in watching?
Yeah,
So,
I am.
so when the TARDIS came in, it kind of really threw me last episode. I was like, I didn't know they had time travel in this.
Yeah.
Well, whenever that big volcano blew up and it put Cheeto powder all over him, I was really surprised about that.
You
I
saw
don't know why
yeah.
people were so upset about that. And like, everyone knows if fire and that is hot enough to burn wood, it's not hot enough to burn skin. This is just science, people. You got to trust the science.
Yeah, trust the science.
Okay, here. This is the thing about Rings of Power. I'm a Lord of the Rings fan, and Mordor was already created. It isn't something new. It wasn't created during the Second Age. It was created during the First Age, during the War
during
of
the First Age. During the first, yeah, that's the thing. It's always been the Southlands, but it was the Southlands were it was Morgoth. That was the whole point. Morgoth, the actual true ultimate bad guy of the series.
I know that name. I read The Children of Húrin, and it was actually really sad. It was a tragedy. It was read to me by Christopher Lee.
Yeah,
the Silmarillion has a lot of tragedy and some really sad stories in there.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing about history. Everyone dies. So it's like...
how do you actually read the name of that book? I always call it the
Silmarillion.
The Silmarillion, yeah. But I've heard people pronounce it differently.
It's
wrong.
It's mainly because of the. It's mainly because the jewels that were in the 3 trees of life were called Silmarillions.
Holy shit! I have to smoke. I'm up to 420 subscribers.
Yay!
420.
Congratulations.
It's 420.
Okay, just out of curiosity, what did you do when you hit 69 subscribers?
Oh, well, I pulled a muscle. Like I had trouble reaching.
Speaking of which, this is the 69th episode of the Jinja Live Art.
69, dude.
69 dude, in that case, half your artwork should be upside down.
Better wake up the wife, dude.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we're immature brats.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, like
that's the weird thing. It's his 69th episode, and all he's doing is fingering some bloke on a paper.
Indeed. Okay, so adaptation and keeping true to the lore and source material. Okay, I just finished reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. Wonderful book, by the way, holds up. It's really engaging for something that was written in 1897. It's pretty good.
And Keanu Reeves, 100% accurate accent in that film.
Oh,
I agree.
100%.
Oh, I am an English gentleman.
I am Van Helsing. They're like, no, I'm Van Helsing. He's like, I did not read the script.
But so I'm doing this movie series, and for the next 5 episodes, I'm actually getting really into Dracula, and I have 5 Dracula movies done within the past 100 years, starting with Nosferatu, the silent one, that was released in 1922. And but each one of these major Dracula movies diverges greatly from the source material, and nobody gave a fuck. You see, the people just enjoy.
It was enjoyable. No, that's the thing. Like, you can change the law, but you have to do stuff that makes sense within the realm and the character. Like, if you create a new law, I think that was the biggest thing when it come to like Bela Lugosi's Dracula. It was so far from that. But when people think Dracula, they think Bela Lugosi because his performance was extremely captivating, even though he did do work with Ed Wood. I mean,
that was in the twilight of his career. When he worked with Ed Wood.
But what I'm saying is, that's the latest work of him as that character.
Yeah. Uh,
Fucking Plan 9 from outer space. My God.
speaking about silent films, who's seen the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
Ooh, I have not.
The German expressionist films are so captivating to look
Yeah,
at.
Nosferatu is one of those, and it's like a rock video. It really is like an
Yeah.
old rock video from the 80s. Yeah, I get this like visual sense of that, like because it's music in storytelling and showing, not saying.
And the way the buildings are just so abstract, yet people walk around like they're like it's the normalest thing, that the most average thing going on.
Well, they love to do a lot of painting on plated glass back then. For like the actors had a very narrow line that they walked, so a lot of their scenes were all purely painted on a piece of glass, and it's phenomenal how they can do that. Like, you're like, you got this filmed in a castle. And they're like, no, we're going to paint one.
Yeah.
The cat. I'd have to say that like I've heard of the Golem trilogy, which was basically the first monster trilogy. And I've heard the Cabinet of Dr.
Trilogy.
Caligari.
Yeah, first trilogy. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
There,
I'll give it that, yeah.
those are the like the and Nosferatu, and those are like the biggest names that come up with the German expressionist films, and I really can't. That's like my Mount Rushmore of silent movies.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a chance, you've got to see The Man Who Laughs.
Oh yes. Yeah. Well, that's where the Joker comes from, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Conrad Veidt, right?
I was gonna say. I always go Veidt, because the V's and W's they always confuse me.
The Man Who Laughs was actually I actually showed James a picture of it because I had a picture. There's a character in my comic book based off a real life extraterrestrial encounter called of a smiling man only known as Injured Cold, and they said the man who met him said that he would only smile, but it didn't look authentic. It looked like it was just plastered on his face, like if he was wearing a mask.
I mean, there was a film I think probably about like 7 or 8 years ago called The Smiling Man, a horror film. Was that anything to do with that?
No, actually, that's like it. That like coincides with the
creepypasta version.
No, it coincides with the movie the Mothman sightings in Point Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Because and there was they actually had in the movie The Mothman Prophecy, there was actually this one scene where Richard Gere's character got a call from Injured Cold, and he asked, what do I have in my hand? And he puts his hand in the drawer and he says chapstick. Pulls out, he has chapstick. He's like, he pulls out a book, he pulls out the Bible, and he puts out a random and he says, say the second line of this page of this chapter, and Injured Cold just recites it word for word, and it's just creepy because the person who said that he met Injured Cold, he said that his mouth didn't move, he was communicating through his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of like Rayman.
Yeah, not
how many toothpicks?
yeah. Except you didn't teach him how to count cards.
Oh no, 5 minutes to Wapner.
What's that?
5 minutes to Wapner. Oh no, these aren't my underwear. These are boxers. I wear briefs from Kmart, 100 Oak Street, Kmart, Cincinnati, Ohio, Kmart.
Yeah.
Sorry, me and movie quotes, man.
I know, man. Like I don't know.
Okay.
I
Here's a bit of
envy
trivia
you
for you.
guys.
How many matchsticks were spilled on the
Oh
floor?
Jesus, that's great.
52.
I read the phone book last night.
Was it 52?
I'm
it
not
was not.
sure.
Does anybody know?
I don't
Greg?
know.
No.
Okay, keep guessing.
46.
No. It's you're way low.
Oh, way low.
Way
94. No, it was 126, right? Something like that. I would just be guessing the whole time.
Keep guessing.
100, 101,
Keep guessing.
102. Anybody else gonna guess?
No,
Need some help, yeah.
you're doing fine. Keep getting enough rope to hang yourself.
What? Give him enough rope at least. That's mercy.
Okay,
13 steps and enough rope. All right. That's
I'll give you an idea. There was it was 300 in the packet.
Oh shit. 246.
Oh my god, you got it. It is literally
did?
246. It's 246.
Yes. Yes. Or are you just saying that?
No, dude, it's 246.
Oh, hey, what's up, Alex VRB?
Yes.
Hello.
I see him on what's her face? I always get her name wrong.
Rini
Rini.
draws.
Yeah. He's always there over on her chat.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Very nice guy.
Dude, how the are you Rain Man? How the hell did you get 246? I said it's less than 300. You went 246.
Are you pulling my chain, dude?
No, dude,
Is
it's
that right?
100%. You can Google it. Yeah.
No, I remember it being like something 6. It was either 46 or 26, but whenever you said it's less than 300, that was just the first number that came to my mind. Because I remember it being something 6.
Which was weird because your first 3 guesses, none of them had a 6 in it.
They did it? I thought I said that. Wait a second. I don't know what's going on here. Shit. Oh, it's a shame that you can't make it out to the States, Grant.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but might be able to make it out your way by the end of the year.
Yeah, we've got we were on a show. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. We were on what's the name of those guys?
Friday Night Tights intro. Yes, we've seen it. God,
Yeah, that was
us.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah, you're in the intro still.
I am twice. Woo-hoo.
That's cool.
I don't remember the first time I was on the intro.
You were standing near Nick Weiser, so I assumed you were just drunk by his aura.
Oh my gosh. I think we were in the top 3 of drunk people. It was like he was number 1. I was either number 2 or number 3. And then who
didn't
else
have any
was
Aussies
Loudmouth, old boy from Foul Ball Productions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We ended up going into like I woke up the next day a lot like lighter of a wallet. And luckily, I had everything else still. I don't remember getting back to my hotel. I don't know how I got back there. I woke up and I was just like, "Oh my god, what happened?" and I have this. I don't know if it happened or not, but I felt like I got kicked out of a casino. I'm not sure. It might have been Paris. I'm still getting flashbacks about that trip.
Put it this way: if you wake up and you're going, "Shit, what did I do last night?" and you're in the middle of Vegas, there's a lot worse things than being kicked out of a casino.
Exactly. So
yeah,
I
woke up with all your teeth. You didn't get an STD from a dirty hookah. You didn't wake up with a new heroin addiction.
Or wedding ring.
Like, hey, why do I suddenly crave needles in my arms?
It's like hey, honey, I kind of married a midget.
Or you didn't wake up. You woke up in a tub with your asking. You woke up in a tub with you asking your friends to throw the radio in the top when White Rabbit hits its peak.
And I want you to throw that radio in with me when the rabbit peaks. I took a grapefruit and I put a Vita Blue grip on that and I threw that in the tub with them and I ran.
Speaking about Fear and Loathing, my costume should be coming in today.
For
Raul
Halloween?
Duke or
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm gonna
Gonzo?
I'm gonna be Dr. Gonzo.
Nice.
My brother-in-law is gonna be Duke because
Oh,
Great.
I'm a
It's a bit
chunk.
culturally inappropriate, isn't it?
I'm
Sympathy
going.
for the Devil was a bizarre counterpoint to the radio.
Hey, Gonzo was based off Oscar Ortega or Oscar. What was his name?
The Grouch. He lives in a garbage can.
Yeah.
¿Qué onda?
1 second.
¿Qué va?
Nani?
What's going on here?
Bendito's getting yelled at again.
Yeah, stepmom woke up.
I think it was.
I can tell her voice now. Hey, mommy.
No, she
Lo
she called me.
There you go. There you go,
She
Eric.
called me on my
Morning,
cell
Eric.
phone.
I'm getting ready to play some Gloomhaven with my homies.
Ooh,
Real nerdball stuff.
nice. That sounds fun.
Nice.
Oh, when is my Patriots game today? I actually love American football. Only on a professional level. I can't stand college football.
Me
Because,
too.
you
Me
know,
too.
like
Man.
admit that you're paying them. And
Yeah.
maybe I can find some room, but no, I mean, that generates so much revenue at so much expense. Sometimes looking at all those young men that are lining up and they all have knee braces on, and I'm like, God damn, look at, you're in your 20s and your legs are already ruined.
My sister loves that. My sister lives in Portland and she loves the Oregon Ducks.
See, the whole idea of like college sports being big is such a weird concept. Like, because you struggle to get people to go to like a college game of basketball or anything out here. It's not a commercialized venture.
Over here, one of the biggest sports events over here is the high school baseball tournament.
Cool.
The National High School Baseball Tournament. It's on every year, and you could go to any office or any kind of store, and they will all have it playing.
That's cool.
And that's where like all of the big prospects, like Hideki Matsui, Ichiro, what's his face, the boy who's big now in the States,
Tamagotchi,
Otani. All of them, they got all the scouts go to this high school baseball tournament, and it's on all like every channel, like the whole tournament. It takes place during the summer, and they've got all the prospects out there. Just looking at Yakyu. There you go. It's huge, man. But if you watch the quality,
sucked into the guy that picked up baseball in college.
Who's that?
Yuck me. No. Yuck you.
Oh, Yakyu.
No. Yuck off. He's Jewish.
Oh my goodness. Fook me. Fook you. It's fucking dude. Now Meghan Markle's getting mad at fucking Austin Powers. That's just. I'm done. I'm walking away from this.
The movie's over almost 30 years old. Why is she mad?
Let's just shake our fists at the past some more. Yakov Smirnov. Yes.
See you next Thursday. Thursday.
We have Pravda newspaper. It says it was great as toilet paper.
Oh man, have you guys seen that Russian like that video? It takes place on it's on an airplane. Have you guys seen that?
No,
it's been kind of like going viral on Twitter. It's like kind of a propaganda video, but it's all these people who are traveling to America, these Russian people who are traveling to America the first time, and it's all of these like the flight attendant comes up to him. It's like, actually, if you're going to America,
it's like, why are you going to America? It's like, because we want to go to the free country, and then it's like, well, actually, if you're gonna go there,
like, would you mind not eating that meat right now? Why? Well, there's some vegetarians, some vegans sitting behind you, and it kind of offends them. So
that's when I turned it off. I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is It's like, and I'm like, is this supposed to be a pro-Russian or an anti-American thing? And I'm like, oh, okay, it was made by Americans, so it's only anti-American.
Was it made by Americans?
Yeah, it wasn't even a Russian thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Russian
Well, that kinda
bots.
sucks.
Collusion.
Russia.
Ah. Yeah,
right,
man. I used to
right.
be a news junkie. I really did, man. I used to love NPR, National Public Radio here in the States, before it became National Progressive Radio. I mean, it's way too left bent. I mean, it was a good place to get news outside of the mainstream. About the network news was like, it got like really in depth on issues and things. But I mean, over the past 20 years, it just got it's geez, I'm not a sinner because I have conservative values. I'm not gonna agree to that, and I'm not gonna listen to people just espousing that as news. There's
Well, we had a similar one here. We had a radio it was called NNN. It
Mhm.
was Nine's National Nightly Network News. And yeah, they were during like the war and everything. They were essentially like the voice of the people.
Mhm.
They were very much against the troops going over and essentially being used as cannon fodder and this, and then going to other countries and other countries, like the idea of being an aggressor in a war. And then the moment that troops started getting pulled back and then Trump got in, everyone who didn't agree with him is now a racist, a sexist, a homophobe. Like,
Yeah.
they literally ran two major stories back to back on the evils of Hillary Clinton and what she's done in the past and everything like that.
Mhm.
And then the very next one, the next episode, when I mean the next episode, there wasn't even a commercial or an ad. It went into the next segment on the next thing about why if you don't vote for Hillary, you're a racist. And we're like, dude, we're in Australia. We don't have a choice. We don't have to vote for anyone. Like,
Yeah.
they
Right.
do real like
Correct.
I don't
And
know.
it was literally, it was the only time I've ever seen a moment where someone's ideology changed on air as a corporation.
It's getting to a very I don't know, man.
Interesting place,
Yeah.
indeed.
Interesting timeline. Somebody switch CERN off.
Yeah. It's like, for me, it's like everyone needs to be in an echo chamber. You need to listen. You need to agree with everyone. If not, you're a pariah.
Well, you don't have to agree to that. I mean, it's the most
Just don't agree
empowering.
to it.
We talk about empowering. The most empowering thing you can do is to say, I don't agree to that, and I'm not going to accept that. And you can't.
Most powerful word in the English language is the word no.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just bringing up this example. It's not to talk about what happened because we've probably all seen it. It was Ethan Van Sciver versus Mark Brooks on the Well-Read. Are we all familiar with that?
Is this what happened recently?
Yes, this week. It was Mark Brooks was on Well-Read.
I'll be quiet about this, otherwise I might get his channel demonetized and then kicked off, and then so yeah, you go, but I won't say anything.
But it was Mr. Brooks was saying to Ethan, like, or even to Well-Read before that, like, you have a choice: either you're stupid or you're a liar. And I'm like, that's a false dichotomy. That's what a shitty way to argue. And I'm not going to agree to that. I'm not going to answer your false dichotomy because that's not an argument. But that's what all we get from a certain side is of the false dichotomy. This Hobson's choice. My stepfather said, you can go to the store and get me a pack of cigarettes and keep the change, or you can go to the store, give me a pack of cigarettes and give me back my change. That's like, a false dichotomy. Like, no, I don't have to go to the store at all. Sorry, there we go. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a double negative. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you saying you'd be kicked off? Get this channel kicked off? Oh, Grant, he's muted.
No, I have a completely different take because of the history and everything with it, and yeah. Let's just say during this argument, Ethan was on the right side, but he's done the same thing a number of times in the opposite. And yeah, Just leave it at that. So
Yeah, but it was just more of a. I was just using it as a model to be like, this was. Like that. That's you get a lot of that. It's like that what they call the Darvo stuff, and just this weird energy and just this false choice of you're only offering me these two. Either I'm a liar or I'm stupid. I'm not going to agree to that.
Yeah.
I mean that's what a poor choice. I mean, that does nothing but uphold the other person's negativity. But yeah, it's empowering. That's empowering. Saying I will not agree to that. Be better. Do something better than that. I'll talk to you, but I mean, I'm not going to be spoken to like that.
Yeah.
Yay! Hooray me!
Huzzah!
So did you get the character background I sent you for Call of Cthulhu?
I did. It's on my DM here. I will get to it.
Yeah, well, I was hoping you'd read it out loud with your Bostonian accent.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
you must accept that when I called for Gabe to come face me, that this was sarcasm. Yeah, I didn't follow any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't. I don't like drama.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't like any of that stuff.
I hate politics.
I hate talking about politics because it's like you're talking about shit people. Like the majority of them are shit people and trying to find some kind of, I don't know. I don't know. It's
a gotcha moment. They're always trying to find a gotcha moment.
With the thing I see with politics, the far right calls everybody they don't agree with communists, and the far left calls everybody that they don't agree with Nazis.
I don't agree with that, and I can't believe that Jinja would actually have a communist on the panel. That's disgusting.
What a red with being a Jinja being with the Reds? Oh my goodness! But hey yo, walk away. And I meant red as a traditional red, as a commie red, not like this whole red pill, blue pill thing. One fish, two fish, red pill, blue pill.
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
Oof.
Why am I getting hungry? What time is it? It's 11:40 at night. I'm getting hungry. So I'm on a diet now.
Uh-huh.
That's why you're hungry.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've been fine though. Like I haven't been like, maybe it's just getting to that point of the diet where I'm starting
So are you saying you haven't craved like a nice big juicy cheeseburger with all the fixing dripping down all like some
Monster
potatoes or
cheese.
I'm muting you.
Diced
I'm muting you.
Like I'm not saying that first bite of the steak that you have when you get that umami rush of meat is really what, like I'm not saying that.
Oh
okay.
boy.
Let's see.
Here we CERN. CERN. It's all CERN, man. Damage to simulations physics code. Yeah, just turn it off or hit the reset button, I guess. Politics is a very difficult subject to learn. Yeah. It's either led by fools or monsters. Exactly. So like I can't find any kind of moral, compass within those people because they're just the majority of them are scumbags. So I don't like. I can't get into it. I don't want to get into it.
The problem with is doing that it unhumans them, and then therefore any actions is like, well, they're monsters, so then they don't get held to the same standard.
Yeah, they should be, but it doesn't seem like there's any kind of consequences though for them lying or doing things. It's just like, oh well, it's just expected. You know what I mean? So it's just, I don't know.
My whole, I don't know, I'm not going to call it a red pilling, but I was going to do a video on Donald Trump about what he was doing with the election, and this is back in 2016. No, actually, it was 15, 14. and everything that was going on. So I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to be like one of these idiots to just go out and randomly spout. I'm going to go out, I'm going to research, I'm going to have the receipts. This is going to be awesome. I couldn't find anything.
You couldn't find anything.
I could not find it, and everything that I found did the complete opposite. I literally spent it was a 48-hour weekend, and like I went like quote unquote balls deep into it, looking for what it was, to the point where I was just like, okay, they're obviously being suppressed, stupid, government trying to do it. I'm like, well, wait a minute, they're not in at the moment, so it doesn't make sense. I'm hearing all this stuff on the news, and then you get that one moment when something that you've researched that says it, but says it completely different. It's like the glass shattering above your head. You're like, oh, and then you can't unsee it ever again.
Yep. Once the eyes are open,
and now that's
now you just see it everywhere.
Yeah, I know. It's so
just all over the place, man. And it's getting to that ridiculous stage where it's like 2 + 2 = 5 is actually that's where it's getting to, and just one thing after another, definitions changing on a daily basis, and it's just like the 1984 playbook, and they're just, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. It's all just really weird.
Yeah.
But I turned off the news. I stopped watching news. I stopped watching.
I stopped watching.
I don't watch TV anymore. Yeah, I don't watch TV anymore. I just stopped.
Like if it's something that I want to watch specifically, like whether it's a sports program, I'll get the streaming service to watch that.
Yeah.
Or I'll listen to it on radio, or if it's a TV series, if I can stream it, I'll stream it. If not, I have a friend who drives past, and his truck it's so unreliable. DVDs fall out the back of it all the time. Even sometimes, like it's weird because it's usually something that I'm really
wrong with the
wanting to
lock
watch.
on the back. I get you.
I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna complain. It's not costing me anything.
Yeah, I there's a guy who there's a place I know that's a guy he has a hook for a hand and an eye patch, and he has access to some things for me. I just don't like oh man, a Japanese TV is just oh my god. Like, if you were to watch Japanese TV for just a second, you would realize it's just all manipulation here. It's horrible. Like, it's like they'll do like I don't mean to be like talking negative and everything. I know, but like you'll watch like the person hasn't even been found guilty yet, but they'll have like a suspect they find for a crime, and what they'll do is they'll do voiceovers for them. Like, they'll just, okay, this is what this person said, and they'll quote them, but they'll have somebody come on in like a really like evil sounding voice, speaking in place of them. It's like, dude, that's wrong. You cannot do that. You've made them out to be the villain without them being convicted of their crime yet. Like, how? I just hate that kind of stuff. And then you got like boy band members. I'm not kidding. Like boy band members who are like TV news anchors. It's like, you do not need to be on TV. Like, they got like celebrities who are broadcasters. It's like, I don't want you telling me anything, because you're just paid shills. That's all you are.
Well, when something like Takeshi's Castle is the most mild thing that can come out of Japan, yet Americans think it's the most extreme thing they've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, I watched that series where guys had to sing karaoke while they were being masturbated.
Oh, I gotta love this country.
And if they finished, they were eliminated from the competition. But the prerequisite to be on the show was that you had to be diagnosed with premature ejaculation.
What the fuck? So were you on there?
No, unfortunately. I would have won easily.
Hands down. Oh, you got me there.
Drinks a joke, give me a Coke. Here you go. Ah!
Yahoo! I'm looking forward to this American
I'm
truth.
a terrible
Go ahead.
singer, but I'm not going to be able to get jerked off in front of a live studio audience. So, that being said, there was a little red towel, and I mean, like, it was almost like a napkin that was in
Yeah.
front. Yeah.
Is this a real TV show?
Dude, it's a real show.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what anyone is saying because I couldn't find any of it subtitled, so I just made it up. There was a guy on there I called Harry. He was the guy I was really going for.
I'll have to look for this, man.
Yeah.
One of the only TV shows that I watch is for New Year's. They have this TV show called Gaki no Tsukai,
Bless
and
you.
it's got a bunch. Yeah, you're welcome. They've got a bunch of like comedians on there, and they're not allowed to laugh. Hey, what's up, the lovely Sherry?
Hello, konnichiwa da.
If you laugh, then you get hit across the ass with like this kind of like big rubber bat.
Oh, of course, it has to be something novel like that. Like,
Yes.
the only thing, it'd be like a giant purple dildo or something. You get like slapped
Exactly.
on the ass. That way, it'd make everyone else laugh. So then it'll be just, you know.
Exactly. So they bring all these celebrities and people on there, like these like top tier celebrities, like doing these stupid stunts or playing these dumb characters, and they'll get them to laugh the whole time, and then
Mhm.
it's just totally like ridiculous, like what guys would do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they don't do it anymore
But
because
dude,
of COVID.
your commercials, that was the things that was great. Like the
Oh, yeah.
amount of Asian John Travolta commercials that I saw. As soon as I saw one, I needed to see the rest. Like he because he didn't reach out because you know that he flew over there and filmed like 20 of them in one day. Like
Yeah,
he's selling
Tommy
some
Lee
sort
Jones.
of
Have you ever seen any of his?
Oh, dude, Tommy Lee Jones is great. Like
Yes, those are the best.
especially when
Those are the best.
The
Because he
Boss
has
Coffee
the-
ones, right?
Yeah.
he has that
He's
weird,
acting so stoic, but at the same time, it's like comical situations.
yeah,
Yeah.
where he's essentially trying to do like he's saying Japanese words but with a southern accent.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's done a fair few too.
Oh man, they've got a bunch of people
Yeah.
done it over here. Tiger Woods.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Schwarzenegger. Who else?
You
Oh, man.
can't say that. It's. Oh, sorry. Never mind. Sorry. I was about to say it's Schwartz African American, but yeah, I really said a different word.
Oh man. Who are some crazy? But Tommy Lee Jones is probably the best though.
Yeah, because it's like they take a photo of him and then they only film him from the neck up because the
Yeah.
rest of his body it doesn't move except for that hand movement right at the end. Comes up and shows the product right in front of the camera.
Right. No, that's classic stuff.
I want to see Eric's Japanese commercial. Like
Hi.
Rogaine or something.
Nani? Rogaine.
Yeah.
I was actually on a commercial, but I hope that no one ever finds it. It was the worst. It was the worst.
Now I better start looking for it.
No,
Awesome.
I think all the files have been destroyed.
Good. No, it's there. The internet is there forever.
This is before the internet. Before the internet.
Well, here's the thing. I'm in the same situation because I had I'm not going to say a very successful ad campaign, but when I was a child actor, there was a lot of commercials. So I'm hoping that none of those come to light.
You were a child actor? Are we talking serious here?
Maybe.
No. If we're talking serious, then no. But if we're talking backstage, then yeah.
Okay.
Lovely Sherry has a couple shorts on her cat.
Nice.
I like cats.
I'm allergic to them. I like cats, but from a distance.
I was
You
going
ever
to say
seen
something a
anything
little
that's
bit raunchy.
hairy?
But... So Grant,
Well,
you looking forward to this new episode of House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
I'm
Another
enjoying the
time.
season, dude.
Actually, I'm
Another
gonna go
time
put
jump.
the kettle on. Go talk about. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Stand by. Yeah, I'm gonna go put the kettle on. More coffee
Okay.
for Grant.
Like
I don't know how you do it.
I'm definitely over the whole, because I wasn't like excited about it at all because of what season 8, 7, 8, and
Yeah.
did. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it now. Like I used to.
Dude, that first episode, it was, yeah, it changed something in me, and I went, okay, wait a second, wait for the second
Yeah.
episode, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was weird because just little things where they didn't tell you what was going on, you had to figure it out, and
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, okay, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, that was right. Okay, so as soon as I heard the baby cough, I'm like, okay, so the baby's gonna die. Well, the baby died, but they didn't mention it once. I'm like,
Right. They're subtle.
right,
Good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And the whole thing with Viserys, how his body's falling to bits, and yet
Oh, it's just
no one's mentioned it. Like,
no. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the king. What is it called? The
emperor's, yeah, it's
Yeah, the
essentially like the
The
emperor's
emperor has-
new clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. I really yeah. There's just, you could watch it over and just see so many little. I haven't really gone back and rewatched a whole bunch of the episodes. I'm going to wait till the season's over.
Yeah, see, that's
But,
my worry as well. That
I'm actually gonna watch it. I'm gonna actually wait until the season's over so I can binge watch the whole thing.
yeah, I think for me, because of how bad the previous season was, that if this was a binge model sort of thing, I don't think it would have worked as well. It being week to week, it's given people something to look to each week, and it going up against stuff like She-Hulk, Andor, and Rings of Power. It's made a huge difference in it. And I've enjoyed the comparisons, and the I think I've enjoyed being excited about a series and talking about a series and the anticipation.
Yep.
More so than I would if just binging it.
Yep. Oh, definitely. I mean, that's what it's all about. The water cooler.
Effect. Yeah.
The water cooler TV show. That's what we need, and they've given it to us. And yeah, I don't know why.
Did anybody see that? Did anybody see that Doomcock's now a She-Hulk villain?
I heard a little bit about it, but I haven't really paid much attention to it. But apparently it was trending because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually closer to MODOK than those other guys.
That reminds me of that one meme somebody they put up on Friday Night Tights. I can't remember who did it. It was what was it? Shoot. It was oh my god, what was it? It was something door, Mordor.
Oh yeah. There was
Gondor.
there was a door, and then Gondor.
Yeah. I got a good laugh out of that one. Nice. It's the simple stuff, the simple things. Oh, just while I'm here right now and painting and doing stuff for the comic book, just want to give a big thank you to everybody out there who backed the comic, and I'm completely new to all of this Indiegogo system, and I don't know a lot of the terminology. I'm just drawing and painting. You know what I mean? So I kind of leave it to other people to look up things or to kind of inform me about what's going on. But apparently, we're still on in demand for the comic. But just wanted to tell everybody thank you for backing it, and I'm finishing up some of these colored pages. And the black and white is finished. All the lettering's done. All the inside, the cover, everything is pretty much ready to be sent off to the press. So we're going to be sending that off to get the proof done. And we're still working on the perks right now. And as of this moment, I guess it's okay to tell people what their perks are going to be. Is that okay, Tom? Are you still there?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Hey man, if you're tired, you could. But yeah, we're working on poster, um, poker chips, bookmarks, stickers, and possibly another thing if we have the time. But yeah, so just a whole bundle of stuff, of goodies to go along with your the comic.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm old school. I just, remember going to the grocery store, picking up a comic book off the rack, and then just taking it home and reading it. I'm not used to all this independent creator system. So, but
Well, blame
maybe
blame the old blame the new guard of comic book writers for that.
yeah, like it's it's just really there's a ton of things that go along with the making the comic,
Oh,
And,
yeah.
was that something that was there from the beginning, or is that something that just kind of like?
Well, with the old guard, they never wanted to make it political or anything because Stan Lee said said he never wanted to whenever he made a comic book, he wanted it to be focused on the story. He didn't want like political meanings or messages to be front and center so he could bash you over the head with. He wanted it, if he was going to have that, he would have that in the background.
Well, yeah, he'd have social messages, but the problem with social and political has now become so intertwined with each other that you don't know the difference.
Yeah. And one of the things that a lot of people don't, a lot of the current day comic book writers, they think they can't take criticism. I mean,
well, they can't.
They can't take criticism, and with every bit of criticism that they get, they think it's an attack on them. And plus, they can't see themselves. Also, they have this sense of entitlement that they can't see themselves as the comic book character they are tasked to write about.
Well, that's because they have the only reason that they can write about anything is because they've lived it or experienced it. They have no real creativity,
right?
But anyway, I've got to go, buddy. It's like,
all right, man. I
here,
appreciate you popping on here, dude. I really
thank you, Grant.
And congratulations on the subscribers. And you're going to have a show this Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to throw in like a link to your YouTube or anything, or anybody want to throw that in the chat, they can.
Will do.
Yeah. So Grant, Mr. Grant Gregory's hit 30,000 subscribers. And
it's been pretty nuts.
Yeah. Are you going to increase like your live streaming or anything?
I'm at 33 at the moment.
Wow.
So,
do you mind sharing some of them?
yeah, I'm happy to do that, man. You know that.
It's just so good. But appreciate it.
I've now got 8 videos above 1 million. It's insane.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And then looking forward to your rising star tonight on Ryan Roger's channel.
Exactly.
Well, I've already had my rising star. This is an update.
Oh,
you're the rising star tonight.
Oh boy! Now we can bask in the sunshine, the starshine of you have risen. But congratulations, man! That's great. Man. I mean, you give us all hope because it's not the sign. I know this is not like any shade. Like if you can do it, we can do it too, and we just need that lucky break, just like that you earned. You earned that break, and damn it, you nailed it. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. Props to you.
I appreciate the compliment.
Seriously,
man.
man.
Yeah, man.
Seriously, you give me hope. You give us all hope.
Take care of Grant.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, man. Have a good
one.
Cheers,
man.
Bye, Grant.
I meant
Great
that
guy.
too.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, that gives me hope. I mean, like he got a lucky break on some shorts.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I understand. Shut up, Siri. I got Australian Siri. So speaking of other,
Oh, now we know it's fetish. Aussie girls.
Aussie girls love American guys. I heard that from an Aussie girl.
I can't comment on that.
Oh man. But let's see. I also got this one too. This is Miracle Man number 0. And we were talking about 0 issues. You got your own 0 issue there. And this is I didn't want to spend any money with Marvel Comics, especially after the whole Mark Brooks thing the other day too. It just sours me on this. Thank goodness it's not one of his covers. This is a Scotty Young cover, which is cute.
What happened with Mark Brooks?
Oh, it's out there. Yeah, I mean, there's a huge brouhaha out there, and yeah, but he's yeah, I've been blocked by so many Marvel writers that it's like I don't want to spend my money with them. So I looked at the contents. This is an anthology book. None of the creators here have blocked me on Twitter, so I'm fine spending my money on this magazine. And do you know who Miracle Man is, aka Marvel Man?
Yeah, I remember Miracle Man.
Yeah, so this cleverly avoids any mention of the horribleness that Alan Moore put him through.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I've read that series.
Indeed, and it starts and ends with a Neil Gaiman thing. So it's full of words, but it's full of nice words, and Gaiman can still write a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, And
who are some great comic book writers out there
currently, or
past, present?
Let's see.
Presently, I'd say Philip Kennedy Johnson. I like Jeremy Adams. His work on Flash is it's cute. It's nice. It's definitely he's telling Flash stories, and I really enjoy that. His name is Marvel Man. That's right. And yeah, and let's see, Chip Zdarsky. I mean, I just got his Batman.
Chip Zdarsky is a good one.
This is really good.
What's up, Phil Timothy?
Hey,
How's
Phil.
it,
How you doing?
Oh,
have a great one, guys. Have a great one.
Yeah. I also got.
Dude, I'm having such a fun time just listening to everybody talk. I'm like painting. I don't even realize I'm painting. I love it when it happens like this.
Yeah, your hands just take over, and you're like, it's in your muscle memory mode.
If you're given a Tom Taylor or a Tom King comic book, use it for kindling.
No, thank you. I mean, I won't agree to that. I don't want to agree to supporting them. I don't want them to lose their jobs or anything. They should be able to apply their trades and make money and earn, and got no problems with that. But
they're not cut out for superhero comic books.
Well, Tom King could. And he has proven it time and time again that he can write decent stuff. I mean, Omega Man was pretty.
Omega Man was a decent one. I liked some of his Human Target stories.
Yeah, I mean, I
hated the fact that he constantly needs to assassinate a character.
Yeah, but that's like, I guess that's his shtick.
Yeah, but he wants to be Frank Miller and Alan Moore, but
only Frank Miller can be Frank Miller.
Yeah. And the thing is that Alan Moore and Frank Miller, they would always deconstruct heroes, but they would always make them stronger, build them back up, being stronger. He forgets to build them back up. He just tears them apart and leaves them like that.
Broken toys.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was Heroes in Crisis that got me off DC.
Yeah.
And that's been 5 years now. And,
like what he did to Wally West, that was a bunch of bullshit.
Horrible, man. Yeah. Just like it was ugh. And it's I'm into mental health, and I'm into good portrayals of getting help. And that was not a good portrayal of getting mental health. There were no actual doctors there at Sanctuary.
Yeah, and
And
Wally West committed so many murders to frame Harley.
yeah, and also doxed everyone. He gave Lois Lane everyone's confessionals.
Yeah,
To prove what they're doing there is all good. I mean, like, you know, that they're trying to make this a place of healing, and it was just so tone deaf about like
yeah.
safe spaces being places where horrific mass murder happens. So just, you know, and it just,
I thought that was in such bad taste because I have bipolar disorder. I spent 70 in I spent time in a 72-hour sanatorium.
mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Well, good thing that you've gotten through it, and that
Yeah.
you're on the other side, and you're you know,
I still see a therapist. I take pills, and
mm-hmm.
I think it was just tone deaf with what he did.
Hey guys, can I?
Yes.
I gotta take like maybe a 5-10 minute break here. Is it
Got
okay
it.
if I leave you guys there?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Sorry, I apologize. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I thought
lost Tom too.
Yeah. I thought it was just really tone deaf with the way he's handling it, with the way he handled it.
Yeah, and also just the whole cliffhanger thing of Wally about to kill himself. It was like really insensitive to, like, you know, to people with actual issues. You're trying to, you know, sell a story based on the cost, the mental and emotional cost of the job on a superhero. And it was a really excellent idea. I really dug the idea. I thought I had a lot of hope in it. And I'm also a Crisis fan. I love anything that has Crisis on the cover. You know, I'm a huge Crisis and Infinite Earths fan. The Infinite Crisis was great, in my humble opinion. I loved Final Crisis. A lot of people didn't like both of those. I loved 0 Hour, Crisis in Time. You know, I should have been on board for metal and death metal, which were, you know, they were like
introductions to the Omniverse.
Yeah, because those were legit crises. And, you know, even though they weren't billed as crisis, actually death metal was billed as an anti-crisis. Yet it played with all. That's exactly what it was its own crisis. And Doomsday Clock, that was definitely crisis level, and so well done. And just, oh man, just like that was just.
I love Doomsday Clock. I also love 0 Hour.
0, I love, you know, because he had this time lost Barbara Gordon, who was like, I'm gonna get shot by the Joker. Like, kind of, she's got this whole, and she sacrifices herself as well. And that was like weird.
Yeah, with one Batman story that I think tackles mental health really good. It was the Batman Arkham Asylum, which
Grant Morrison one.
Yeah,
that was pretty good because it was new then. Yeah. I mean, I think that trauma is so played out in comic books and in superhero, and especially with live action portrayals and giving people excuses for their bad behavior. Listen, people like us who legitimately been diagnosed with PTSD, I actually despise the people that glom onto this. And, you know, there are real sufferers out there. And for people to say, oh, I'm triggered, all this and stuff, it's like, you may think, or maybe you're sold on this idea that hopefully you're not. But I think real people with PTSD understand it's in resilience and not in excusing your bad behavior or your bad impact on those around you.
It's it's like with like everybody. It's like there's with comic books. It's like with D&D. These people who will go and wreck the entire campaign just because they say it's what their character will do. No, it's what you would do. And and what they're doing to these comic book heroes, they're basically turning them around and making them villains, and then they're like, oh, it's what the hero would do. No, it's what you would do. It's what it's your it because they it's them that are portraying these heroes, and it is not what the creators did. It is not the same hero that the creators made. I mean, the last time that I think that I actually enjoyed Marvel Crisis was, I think it was Marvel's Titan Infestation, and I think it was the one where they introduced Kid Kaiju, and I thought because in the crises, there were these like kaiju sized monsters that were coming in through the gates, and the only one that could stop the Avengers couldn't do crap because they were normal human. They were normal human size, and the only person that could stop them was a kid who would draw, who was an inhuman, and he would draw, and he would bring building sized monsters to life. And I thought, and that brought up the sentiment of what is the only thing that is more pure is the imagination of a child. And he actually became a hero. He actually became a hero and saved the world with just a pad and a paper.
That's cool. I'm not unfamiliar with this character. I kind of tuned out to Marvel. When did I tune out of a Marvel? I've had a on again, off again love affair with Marvel comics since I was a child. And the first time I got off of comic books in the mid '90s, it was X-Men, and it was Onslaught. We just got out of Age of X. That was great. What an great alternate universe. I mean, that was so cool. I mean, that was,
the Age of
that's
Apocalypse.
all they do now. The Age of Apocalypse.
It
was so awesome. I loved that world. It was horrific. I mean, I love the maps. I love the allegiances. There was just something to it, man. And especially the reveal of Wolverine, and he pops his claw. Yeah, he must have lost his hand, but he still had his claws all that time. That was a really slick reveal. And
that was actually a nice. And all these heroes that you like, there was actually like Thor. He never became Thor because he never went to Norway. Captain America was in a slave camp, or he was never found. T'Challa was killed defending.
And this was in Avengers. This was in Avengers.
This was in the Age of Apocalypse.
Okay, yes. There were no heroes.
Yeah. The only ones that were around were the X-Men. Like there was also like the Hulk. There was also the only like known heroes were like the Hulk, who was in his Joe Fixit persona, and Tony Stark, who was able to who used his smarts to reverse engineer the apocalypse drones into for him to pilot them,
Mhm.
and
He's returned
Daredevil.
to us.
Sorry guys.
That's cool. No, man.
Yeah,
We've been vamping.
we were just talking about comic books.
Crisis level events and Marvel and DC. Like one thing I really liked, I didn't get, but I used to read the hardcover edition. It was in a bookstore near my bus stop, so I was blessed to browse books waiting for the bus. And it was the Age of Ultron, Bendis and Len Liu's original Age of Ultron, the comic book event, and that team up of Sue Storm and Wolverine having to go through, keeping going back and unfucking the timeline.
Oh, I just watched Days of Future Past again the other day.
The movie?
Yeah.
It's not bad, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. I wish that they had that Bishop was in it. Was in it? Had a bigger.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I wish Bishop had a bigger presence since he was so important in the original comic book series.
Mm-hmm. I'm weird. I like X-Men Last Stand. I don't mind that movie one bit. Everyone has problems with it, and I'm like, I don't know what you were expecting.
I loved. I actually liked Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed Kitty Pryde taking out Juggernaut. I thought that was great. Yep. It was great use of powers and power sets and the characters, because I grew up an X-Men fan. I love Kitty.
Yeah, they were originally in the they actually cut Gambit from the bus scene, the jail bus scene.
Yeah,
they could make just a Gambit movie. I would love it, just a Gambit movie.
Yeah,
you know what? I liked X-Men Origins Wolverine. I didn't mind it. I liked Liev Schreiber. I liked Gambit in that movie. I liked Deadpool in that movie too. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think that's how he got the role for Deadpool.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, just with that original Wade, finally got you to shut up, huh, Wade?
Speaking of which, Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah,
indeed. In 2024, but still,
I hope they don't screw it up.
They could, because I hated Deadpool too, to be honest with you.
Oh, Deadpool 2, I only watched it once, and I was like, I wasn't feeling it at all.
Yeah,
because they went through like the freaking like X-Force characters. They were just
but they did it as the thing was that they did it as a joke, and
I know, but
they didn't take it. They didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny, but no, just like the plot, I was just I don't know. I didn't enjoy. He looked nice as Cable.
Josh Brolin as Cable.
Yeah, but I just didn't feel.
I would have gone with Stephen Lang from Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he would have made a good Cable.
I love Josh Brolin as Cable though. That was really good casting. I didn't mind Domino's casting either. I didn't see that was fine, especially because the way they did the makeup.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That was just clever.
It was a reverse. They did a reverse on her makeup.
Yeah, and I thought that was I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
and and that one Marvel Crisis I was telling you about, it was Monsters Unleashed.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay.
Yeah.
When was that?
This
it up myself.
It came out in 2017, so it was during the all new, all different Marvel, and this was the only thing I liked that came out of it. Because it had the main hero was just a kid with a sketch pad who loved monsters.
Talk about a self-insert. I haven't seen a self-insert like that since Kyle Rayner. Comic book artist, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
A young boy named Kei Kawade draws in his room. Monsters start to rain down from the sky.
Yeah, the thing is that his superpower is that when he draws, he summons the monsters he draws, and they actually like he doesn't control them, but they actually end up fighting, and his family had to move like 7 times because of it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like have you seen Mouth of Madness?
Oh yeah.
Not recently.
It's kind of like how with Sutter Kane, all his everything he writes comes to life.
Yeah. Well, we were recommending that movie to you, Eric. I don't think you've
Last
seen it
week,
yet, have
I
it?
haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet.
Oh, dude, just check it out. It's got to be one of your Halloween movies.
The Halloween movies are well. I can fudge stuff around too.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to pick up a nice used copy on DVD because I did substitute out Hellraiser 2 Hellbound for Broken Lizards Club Dread.
Has
Oh,
anybody
I
seen the
love
new
that.
Hellraiser movie?
I haven't. I heard nothing but good things about it though.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
Yeah.
Linkara, who's a big Hellraiser fan, said he liked it, but I don't really trust Linkara that much.
I've seen some mixed reviews. For the most part, I would say 70% positive, 30% negative.
I know he doesn't like modern comic books, but I don't know. I don't know. He's like, he's okay if longtime characters are turned by, and I don't know. I'm like, are you trying to shield for Marvel so they can still give you free merchandise? But I still see his long box of the damn series. He does every Halloween.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of what movie I want to watch for Halloween.
The Howling.
Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
I got American Werewolf in London on that list too.
Yep.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a comedy, dude. John Landis did this movie. He did Animal House and Ghostbusters. I mean, not Ghostbusters, but I mean, just Landis's films are all comedies, and so it's like it's so darkly funny with this movie, especially the chorus of the victims in his that haunt him. Oh wow!
I would just say some of the horror movies I've watched a lot whenever I was younger. Definitely, I watched Lost Boys a lot. I don't know how many times I watched that. I was just,
It was actually on a lot on TV. So
yeah.
But
Fright Night. I watched Fright Night a bunch.
Fright Night is a good movie.
Yeah. Man, what are some other ones that I watched?
Alex Verb just says hiring SJWs to write heroes is like hiring locusts to plant the field of corn.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Trying to think of some other horror movies that were.
I have a list.
Multiple times. Yeah,
I made a list.
Go for it, man. Can you read some from your list?
Yes, I will. I am The Abominable Dr. Phibes, which you checked out. I'm glad you did. Thank you. There was a sequel to that called Dr. Phibes Rises Again.
I gotta check that out.
I did Night of the Living Dead, the original, 1968. That was amazing. I had never seen that in my adult life.
Yeah,
it was a good experience.
I actually saw that on G4. I actually saw that on G4 on the night of Halloween one year.
Nice.
They actually had interviews with George A. Romero himself, and the actor who played the main character. They just chose him because he did the job perfectly. He auditioned for the role, and he was a Shakespearean trained actor that he actually got. That they liked him so much that he got the role. It wasn't a commentary it was. He said it wasn't a commentary for racism or anything in the South. It was they just liked him so much that he got the role.
That's great, and I think it was very visually striking for me seeing a movie from 1968, seeing like the black man being a hero, and also manhandling Mr. Cooper, who was a coward and a white guy, and also the visual of seeing the black hero killing the white zombies as well. I mean, I just thought that was subversive, and that's when subversion works. When it was cool. But yeah, I did let's see, The Shining. That was, and also I would suggest Room 237, which is a documentary about The Shining. And
Yes.
it's really, it has all these different points of view of like the different theories behind this movie. And there's so much, it's like The Godfather. You can pick up something new every time you watch The Shining, or almost. And okay. Ridley Scott. Go ahead.
You know, Stephen King didn't like
He didn't like the movie.
Yeah,
he didn't like the movie.
That's because it was wrong. He tinkered with the story, and that's adaptation. And once again, the fidelity between adaptation and source material, when it works as well, when your divergence works. I mean, there's no hue and cry of, that's of sticking to the lore. I think that's just one of our, it's so weird that that's. We're really, I'm afraid we're not going to be happy with anything given to us or offered to us by with pop culture anymore.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on here. I think that there are adaptations to things that are made that we do appreciate and that we like, but it's just they could do, okay. Let's just say that they do Lord of the Rings, right? The Rings of Power. But let's say that they don't go on their little talk shows and they don't go and attack people and say things like that. And let's just say that they don't use. You can adapt something, you can change a lot of things, but when you put your social, political, messages in there, then they're going to reject it. They're just going to reject it.
But if you mess with the lore so much, people are also going to reject it.
Like The Hobbit. But I just thought they were bad movies. I didn't really care about I wasn't really paying attention to the lore as much as they were bad movies.
Yeah, I passed on The Hobbits.
Yeah,
and
you didn't miss much.
Yeah, one of my best friends from work was head over heels. He was like, "You should see Smog," and his fortune, and they nailed it. They got it right.
I watched it. I wasn't really that impressed.
Well, I actually think that they got Smog right. I didn't think that they got everything else right with what they added, like the forbidden love between the elf and Kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think they should have added that.
Yeah, that was lame. Totally lame.
Yeah. All right. So you were at Ridley Scott's.
Sorry. Ridley Scott's.
Oh, Ridley Scott's younger brother, Tony Scott. Before he did Top Gun in 1986, his first major Hollywood release was 1983's The Hunger, a vampire movie starring David Bowie, Susan Sarandon, and Catherine Deneuve, the ingenue of French cinema of the 60s. And it's such a really atmospheric, wonderful movie. It's everyone's a victim in it because it's like, it's a vampire movie. It's a horror movie. So, but you got to see Susan Sarandon topless a lot. And she's like 32 years old and a very beautiful woman. But it's like, that's not just the only thing. It's just really deep, atmospheric vampire movie, and which betrays conventions of the vampire myth. They don't have fangs. They use a small little knife. There's a cost to if you're not the alpha vampire, if you're like the partner in the relationship, sooner or later, the blood of others will not rejuvenate you, and you'll become almost a mummy.
Huh.
Yeah. So it had this really weird Egyptian and mummy movie kind of skew to it as well. You could see their reflections and mirrors. They could withstand partial daylight. So they weren't conventional vampires. It was
Mhm.
so interesting. I would totally tell anyone to watch The Hunger, 1983 Tony Scott film. Let's see, after that, I did Scanners by David Cronenberg,
Oh, right.
1981. Interesting movie, great practical special effects, and great music. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. You know who did the music for David Cronenberg's movies? Howard Shore, same dude. And this was in the early 80s, and they were in their
Wow.
young 30s, and making this really electronic, synthy and moody shit, man. And so I did Scanners and Videodrome, 1983's David Cronenberg's movie. Again, Howard Shore doing the music for that. Videodrome, holy crap. It is prophetic.
Isn't that the one with the cancer gun?
Yeah. And putting the cassette into your body
Mhm.
and being one with the TV. But it's almost 40 years old, and it really calls out this YouTube internet culture, like our tribalism with our shows, being sucked into the television in a way, becoming the content, and this nonstop faucet of nihilism and horrific imagery. Like I can turn on my YouTube feed and see the most horrific shit just by opening up my timeline. And I didn't
Yeah.
ask to see any of this. People just share and
Right.
overshare. And especially when it comes to the civil unrest and when it comes to like seeing fist fight shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I don't
Yep.
want to see like real life violence. I grew up in South Boston. You know what I mean? Steeped in violence. You obviously didn't see enough freaking violence in your real life growing up that you have to share this with people. But Videodrome really calls that 40 years ago. And just, wow, I'm just impressed with this movie, but it's tough to watch because there's no one to root for and everyone's a victim. And James Woods, Debbie Harry of Blondie is the female lead. And it's just, it's a sight for the eyes and the senses. Good movie.
Mhm.
What's it called again?
Videodrome, 1983.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, put that on your list. I did Cabin in the Woods from 2011.
Yeah,
That was a trip, man. That's a good movie to watch a second time and third time.
I need to watch that.
That's the most meta. That's the most meta horror movie I've ever
Mhm.
seen.
It's a very good celebration of horror movies. It's a good movie on its own. It's 93 minutes long, so you get 3 succinct acts. You have people to root for, and you have people to root against. And it follows all the rules of horror movies and tries to do its own thing. It's got a good balanced A and B story. And I watched it with the commentary track from Drew Goddard and Joss Whedon, which made it even sweeter. That was nice.
Do you know a vampire movie that I really enjoyed?
Mm-hmm.
Let the Right One In.
I've never seen that one. What?
I have.
I have
I've
to
seen.
put that on the list.
I've seen. I've seen the original. I've seen
Yes, the original one.
original Ukrainian
Yes.
version.
Yes. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I've watched that multiple times.
Yeah.
Yes, and they made a remake of it, an American one, but
Nah.
Of course.
no.
It's kind of like with the ring, and
Yeah.
Juwan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The originals are always better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Like
Such a great
uh,
wow. Yeah.
you know what's a good cheesy type of movie, foreign movie you should watch on Halloween?
What's that?
It's Samson versus the Vampire Women, or El Santo contra los damas vampiras. And they actually have a Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode of it. And it's El Santos fighting vampire women. And they actually have the the bats where you see the strings. They actually in the middle, and Samson's walking around in his in his rustling gear and his cape, like if it's the most normal thing to do. And and on top of that, there's a wrestling match in the middle of it.
Nice.
Hey, you know.
Today I did Nosferatu. Today's movie is Nosferatu from
Nice.
1922, the original silent film. Yeah, that was really. I hadn't watched that in my adult life.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's an old movie, yeah, so it has its pacing, you know. But it's great to see the sets and the costumes, the special effects, the practical effects, the makeup work. You know what I mean? Count Orlok himself is a really good-looking vampire. I mean, even then,
I think Max Schreckler went above and beyond with the makeup.
yeah, it was. And even I was the name Max Schreck. That's you remember Batman Returns 1992, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
That was Christopher Walken's
character.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shrek.
Really?
Yeah, Max Shrek. Yeah, yeah, that was a nice homage. But yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing a mini series within my series. So I'm going to be doing nothing but vampire movies for the next 12 days or so.
Get the right one in.
Yeah, well, it's going by the numbers here. I got Nosferatu's today. Tomorrow is 1931's Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Then 1973's, it's called Dan Curtis's Dracula, which was a made-for-TV movie starring Jack Palance as Count Dracula, which was really interesting. I actually enjoyed that one because it's it had early 70s television production values. And it was a competent production. I enjoyed it. Then I'm doing Bram Stoker's Dracula, the 1990 Francis Ford Coppola version.
Yep.
And which was visually interesting. And
no hammer.
Yeah, we're getting there. Then on October 13th, we're doing 1958's The Horror of Dracula, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing as Van Helsing.
Yes,
indeed. And that starts off 5 Hammer horror Christopher Lee Dracula movies. But the first thing I'm going to do is these first 5 Dracula movies is because I want to get into lore, source material versus adaptation, because there was these aren't the only ones too. I mean, there's Frank Langella's 1979 Dracula that I forgot to get. There's Blackula, the blaxploitation movie from the 1970s, which follows the same recipe, but everyone's black, and it was a blaxploitation movie, and of that era. And I love those movies. Those are great. And
Dario Argento did a terrible version of Dracula. Dracula 3D.
Yeah.
What about go ahead, sorry.
I haven't gotten the newest one. Was it Dracula Unbound? Is that it? It was supposed to have been part of, I guess, maybe part of the failed Dark Universe.
Yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was Dracula Untold.
Okay, that's it then.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like the first movie that was for the Dark Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the Dark Universe, they had this whole thing. It was going to be like the first one was supposed to be Dracula. The second one was going to be the Mummy.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to do the Invisible Man next, but
the Invisible Man movie they got was a lot with Elizabeth Moss. I guess that was like
that was going to be like the connected to the Dark Universe, but when they saw that it was underperforming, they decided to rewrite the script and cut everything from the Dark Universe.
Indeed.
By the way, if anybody's wondering what I'm doing here, just a little art
your
thing.
Own blood.
Yes, how do we? No, I like to. There are many ways to do splatters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some ways that I've picked up doing splatters along the way is, of course, toothbrush. Taking a brush and also just hitting against your finger.
Mhm.
But lately, I've got this nice, good old thin Japanese style brush right here.
Uh-huh.
Just load it up with water and paint, and then just flip it against the finger, and it gives the perfect kind of spray.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, that's just a little bit off topic there, but
No, no, no. This is well, we're enjoying the art stream part of the art. You know, this is great.
um, oh, what was another? Well, I keep on going with your list there.
Well, cool. Well, so yeah, those first 5 Dracula movies, they're just I want to say, hey, this is where it's diverging from Bram Stoker's original. Which I just finished reading. Again, I haven't read that in years. Great. It holds up. It's really good. I mean, Van Helsing predates what we would say like the use of reverse psychology in fiction. This is in 1897, and this is before Freud. By 40 years or so. And so here's Van Helsing actively using reason, science, and technology of its day to combat this mystic, maybe even magical, evil eternal force. So it's a conflict of these two worlds. It's great. And but each one of these Dracula movies takes its liberty and its adaptation. And so yeah, I think I'm going to focus on that, and then just focus the rest of the show. Like I got, so after 1958's The Horror of Dracula, which is the Bram Stoker Dracula story, doing most of the rest of Christopher Lee's Hammer ones. This Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, 1968. Taste the Blood of Dracula, 1970. Dracula AD, 1972. From 1972. That's a magnificent one. And then The Satanic Rites of Dracula from 1973. Now, all of these Hammer movies are great because they're TNA movies. They're titillating. They're like, they had ingenues, beautiful young British actresses. You know what I mean? Scantily clothed, but they couldn't show anything.
Right.
Until 1973's The Satanic Rites of Dracula, or also known as Dracula and His Vampires, 1973, where they can finally show nudity, real nudity in movies. And that was like, oh wow, look, they're finally showing, a woman's breasts, and that was big for that one. So yeah, I got Vamp from 1986 that has Grace Jones and also Giri Watanabe, who played Long Duck Dong. He's a Japanese actor, and that's just a nice little piece of 80s nostalgia. Crappy movie, but still, I mean, it's totally nostalgic, totally 80s. Got Fright Night, the original Fright Night,
Oh
in
yeah.
1985. Chris Sarandon, yeah, that movie's pretty darn good. And yeah, Roddy McDowell's in that movie too. That's right. He plays the Van Helsing character. Yeah.
Yep.
The host of the movie night, and the kids go to him. Yeah, like, how do we? I think I got a vampire next door, and he turns out to be right. Oh, then I got From Dusk Till Dawn, 1996.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that one for a while.
Oh man, that movie is so stylish and so good. And I love it's Rodriguez at his peak, and it fits in with the Quentin Tarantino universe too. Because they're smoking red apples, and they're going into a Big Kahuna Burger. That's like when he comes back, when George Clooney comes back with lunch, and notices that his brother Seth had killed the hostage, and he's holding a Big Kahuna Burger bag. So it's got the conceptual continuity going on with the rest of the Tarantino movies. I like that a lot. Then I'm doing on the 20th, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 1992, the movie.
The original?
Yeah, Christy Swanson, Donald Sutherland, Rutger Hauer as the vampire, Paul Rubens, Luke Perry. I mean, Ben Affleck's in this too. I mean, he's like one of his first big roles. That's a good movie. And let's see what else. Again, then that concludes the vampire series, the mini series within the series. So yeah, we're doing a bunch of vampire movies, and I get and we're gonna really kind of talk about vampires, the use of vampires. Like, what is a vampire? What constitutes a vampire's powers? Where did it come from historically? I grew up with this book, In Search of Dracula, and it's about the historical Vlad Tepes, Vlad the Impaler, and how Bram Stoker found this word for devil from Romanian called Dracula, and he kind of knew it was a historical person too. So it's interesting. He said Bram Stoker got to tie in his bad guy into a legendary bad guy.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was a real guy, late 1400s, about Hungary, Transylvania. Yeah, he was a
I knew that it was a real, but I didn't know that I thought that it was of like his. I thought it was pretty well. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go ahead. Yeah,
no. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just some Bram Stoker's research, and he came across this obscure Romanian name for devil, and it ended up boom, giving him this great story, and also a cautionary tale, and make sure you properly copyright your IP, because Bram Stoker improperly did his copyright, and that is why Dracula is in the public domain.
Also, one of the things about the vampire was that in Romanian lore, they were known as the Strigoi, and the people would believe that if they're it's kind of like with the crow, they think if their relatives aren't satisfied when they have died, they will come back and be dead, and come back from the dead to feed on the living. And some of those beliefs followed the Americans to the New World, and there was actually this one case of people in New England that actually thought that they were being killed by a vampire, but
it sounds like Salem's Lot.
Yeah, it turns out they were actually dying from a rare disease, but they were so convinced that it was a vampire that some guy from Romania convinced the father to burn the body of his wife and his daughter, and have his son drink the ashes. Yeah, and that didn't do shit. His son still died, and they said the only way he doesn't rise again is to chop off his head and put a stake through his heart.
Huh? Yeah. And so I just find there's a lot to unpack with vampires. I mean, yeah. And then comes all the latent sexuality involved with all in the background of it too. I mean, because it's about pointed teeth. They're phallic. It's about penetration. It's about body fluids, and
Bram
it's also
Stoker's is all about that. Like they hyper.
And like next year, you could have another mini series between the 31 Days of Halloween, all about zombies.
Yeah, actually, I'm investing in. I've invested in the Friday the 13th box set. So next year I'm going to do all 12 of those. That's gonna take up content. That's great. You know what I mean? And I got an 8-pack of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Yes, and all these are. I don't like Halloween movies. It's not my brand. I don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's not my brand. I think I'm going to give the Romero zombie movies, the Living Dead movies, a better shake, because I really didn't watch those. But I'm turned on to it by watching 68, and because that was like, oh wow, this is really, really good. That was a good movie, a good movies movie. Like you could see where Rodriguez comes from, and Tarantino, and just like this, the style of setting up and shooting this movie. It was just so well done. Yeah. And I'm doing Misery.
Oh, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say you got to do Misery. Yeah,
we're gonna do Misery, like so we're coming out of the vampires. We're gonna go into Misery. Then I'm gonna do Hellraiser 1 from 1987. Because that's a really interesting movie. I think there's a lot to unpack there because it's about, this is my theory. I've never read this. Clive Barker, was coming out of the closet around then too, and I think it's about somebody's difficulty transitioning when they're coming into a new culture, and I think this is all about getting into maybe an S&M kind of relationship or whatever, but it's about opening the box, and you called, we came, and then feeling like an alien inside of this awful kind of world of pleasure and pain, of dominance and submission.
I never ever read it like that before.
me neither. This is my original idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get into that because also, I read a lot of Clive Barker in the late 80s. Gosh, he actually wrote the most horrific short story that still creeps me out to this day. It's called The Confessions of a Pornographer's Shroud. And it's a short story, and it's in one of his books of blood. And it's about an accountant for a mob who gets set up to take a fall. Like, he had to rat them out, so they badly execute this guy. They torture him to death, and they set him up that in death to be like the fall guy, to be like, oh, he was the pornographer. He was making the kiddie porn or the groomer stuff, and so the shroud that was over his body comes back as a ghost. Now it's a ghost story, and he's just killing all the gangsters that murdered him badly.
Oh wow, that sounds nice.
But it's really creepy, and I think it's just it's Clive Barker at his best, in my humble opinion, because he also wrote Rawhead Rex,
Candyman.
Yeah,
Candyman.
And he also tried to do a series called the Great and Secret Show. That was kind of hit or miss. But I think Hellraiser is a very personal story to Clive Barker.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can see it through queer cinema theory in a way. So yeah, it doesn't, not all that stuff has to be all negatives and all it's just, it's part and parcel with the human experience and these different messages, these different stories these people are telling. And I think there's a level of that, like in Lost Boys. We were just talking about Lost Boys. I mean, that's who directed that? This is on the tip of my tongue. The Lost Boys.
Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, Joel Schumacher. Yeah, he was openly gay, and Lost Boys. There's queer coding all over that movie.
I mean, we saw the saxophone player, right?
I think the real relationship is between David and Michael, not David and Star.
Yeah. No,
Michael
David and Michael is that's what it's all about.
I think that kind of led into the Batman and Robin movies.
It did, yes, exactly. It wasn't quite as gay, but it kept the campiness of like the '60s show, and I don't think it was like queer campy, but it kept that that energy. But I'm just in hindsight, like watching Lost Boys for this series, I'm like, I never knew how gay this movie was until the last time I watched it. Yeah, it's kind of evident now, like looking at it.
That's how I read it from the get-go. Like it was all about this very intimate relationship between these two men, and the whole star thing was just kind of like it seemed a bit forced.
Death by stereo.
It wasn't as, and it seemed like that part of the movie went very quickly. Yeah, but
They're actually doing a remake to. They actually did a remake to Interview with a Vampire.
Nah, I'm not even going to bother with it.
Yeah.
Well,
read the books.
Yeah, here's the thing that instead of like instead of Louis, I'm reading it right now, and instead of Louis being turned in 1753, because he's being portrayed by a black actor today. By
or a mixed actor. And
yeah,
there were,
a mixed actor, a
right.
Creole actor. He was turned in 1910 New Orleans. So
so they fudged the timeline.
So to make it more accepting, because he would be a person like that would be around New Orleans around that time.
And I listened to Lorena Creole a lot and Jane Theory, and like I think I got this from them a while back, that mixed people were a part of New Orleans culture, because that was just like people fuck and people fall in love and have kids, and so mulattoes were have their own place in New Orleans history and in Louisiana, in the South, in that part of the South. Yeah. And so there's just like that there's more to it than we originally thought. And so I can actually, in my suspension of disbelief, I can accept Lewis being mixed. Sure, why not? That's
and especially around if it's like around that time, because in the original Louis came from France, and he had just moved. That's
right.
To
he was resettled. Yeah,
and not. But in here, he was,
and his mother, and he turned his mother.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot all about this shit, man.
And here,
I've never read the books. One, would you guys recommend them?
Yes,
I've read the Anita Blake. I would recommend the Laurel K. Hamilton Anita Blake Vampire Hunter movie books. They're really good books.
But those Anne Rice, because Interview with the Vampire, I mean, because it gets better in Vampire Lestat.
Yeah.
Because Lestat is now, and he's hiding in plain sight. Mm-hmm. He's hiding out as the vampire Lestat. Though he's like Marilyn Manson or Nine Inch Nails. He's the lead singer of a metal. Yeah, he's the lead singer of a metal group. Right. And
Queen
so
of
he
the
hides.
band.
He hides in plain sight as this character, being himself. And he's like, and he's got this whole like church of groupies around him as well too. And that's really interesting. Then there's Queen of the Damned, which is he meets, the alpha predator, the queen vampire, in his struggles with her. And at the end of it, of course he wins and gets some of her blood. So he's like now one of the strongest vampires in that world. And there's a fourth book. It's called The Tale of the Body Thief. And I think it's really interesting.
I never heard of that one.
Really, it's the fourth book in the series. Maybe it's the fifth. I think it's the fourth. It's called Tale of the Body Thief, and it's a Lestat story. And this old mystic man comes up to Lestat and says, listen, I know who you are, and I would like, what it would be worth to you to switch bodies for a week. Because I would like to experience being a vampire. And would you like to experience being human once again? And of course, it goes wrong, and the guy steals Lestat's body. So Lestat has to go hunt down his own body in a frail human form. So it's a really it's worth it to get up to that point, I think.
Okay, well, cool. I'll definitely have to check.
Here we go.
Out.
Yeah, right. That's called The Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice.
Cool.
So where are we now with your movies?
Well, let's see. I was going to do Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, Hell on Earth, because that's a really good sequel. And Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2 blow me away with those practical effects. There was nothing. The whole Effects Jesus Wept thing with Uncle Frank and oh my Christ, that was so good.
Yeah.
Oh man,
what quality work.
Yeah, and just it was so bloody and as sequels go, when you're talking about great sequels, nobody ever mentions Hellraiser 2. It's so good. Yuck. It's so creepy. Yeah. But I'm going to switch that out for Broken Lizard's Club Dread, because I wanted to lighten it up just a little bit. And because it's a parody of horror movies, yet it follows all the rules, and it ends up being a really decent horror movie. And it's a funny movie too. It's a great stoner movie. If you like, Super Troopers or Beer Fest, you know what I mean? It's the same production. It's the same cast, and it's really funny. Club Dread. Bill Paxton's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he plays like the Jimmy Buffett knockoff, and it's his island in the Keys, instead of Jimmy Bean. And so all these like teenagers flock there, to get drunk and laid, and of course there's a killer. And
Machete Steve.
Yeah, and it's charming in its own way, and there's beautiful women and in bikinis, and yeah, and I would totally watch that. Yeah, I'm totally doing that movie because it's worthy. It really is.
All right.
I was like thinking for some more Halloween movies that are kind of like on the more funny side. I mean, would you consider Beetlejuice a Halloween movie?
That would
Yeah.
be yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a great
Yeah.
Halloween. I'll put that on my list for next year.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. I just watched it again the other day. It's such a good movie. It's great. It's awesome.
Coach, I don't think we survived the crash, Coach.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say. Fucking great.
Hey, how do I look? Oh, you look great. Oh, thanks. I've been feeling a little flat.
This reads like stereo instructions. I still use that quote, man.
Yeah.
I
that's a
love
good one.
that. Oh, and I love the little town and like the attic.
Yeah.
It's so man, what a well done movie.
Well, I like
Hey,
how her
nice
sculpture almost
effing
killed her as well.
model.
Yeah. Nice fucking model. Ha. Oh, I have a story about that. Whenever I was in the 3rd grade, I just moved it was 4th grade. I lived in Jasper, Indiana, and I moved back to North Carolina. But I was still keeping in contact. I was writing letters with my friends from Indiana, and one of them, what was her name? Her name was Lori Nugent. I think it was Lori Nugent. My gosh, I haven't thought of that name in years.
Oh.
But she writes me a letter and says, everything's going okay, but she had a really bad time during Halloween because the teacher had decided to ask the kids for a Halloween movie that they wanted to watch. And that Lori, my friend, she suggested Beetlejuice, and her teacher didn't vet the movie.
Oh.
And they got to that one part, it was like, nice fucking model, and they just had to stop the movie there.
Oh.
Yeah. Poor little kid, yeah. Oh, well.
It's not like when we were kids, we could withstand F-bombs. That's where we
Oh,
learned.
man, yeah.
Our
Yeah.
F-bombs. It's from
All right.
movies.
It's after Club Dread. What do you got?
On the 25th, I'm going to do An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, good one.
I grew up with that movie.
Nice.
My best friend, his dad had a Laserdisc player in like 82, 83. And that was one of the Laserdiscs we had. We had Empire Strikes Back. We had John Carpenter's The Thing. We had Escape from New York. And we had American Werewolf in London. Those 4 movies we watched the shit out of endlessly. And that just the practical effects, the black comedy, the how funny and good this movie is.
Yeah,
man. Just in just Act 1, we're on the moors. You know
what's
what I
up,
mean?
JT?
Hey, JT.
Sorry.
Well, that's cool. And by Act 3, we're in downtown London. You know what I mean? So it's got this great. It's a good movie. Yeah, I mean, after that, we're doing Salem's Lot.
Oh,
nice.
I'm just starting that one.
It still has the power to make me jump twice.
That's good.
I watched it and I literally jumped out of my. I grew up watching this movie again. There's no surprises, so why am I still jumping? Because it's good. It builds tension.
It's done well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the music.
Did they purposely make Mr. What's the vampire's name?
Oh, it's like the 2 names of the curio store. It's like Mr. Welker. Is it? I love the ending of Salem's Lot. It is just.
I've never seen it. I don't know why. Maybe I have, but it's just been such a long time.
Oh, Kurt Barlow.
Yeah,
Mr. Barlow is
Barlow.
Yeah, Mr. Barlow.
Did they decide for the show to make Mr. Barlow look like Max Schreckler?
I hope so. I think so. I mean,
because in the remake in 2000, it was just Rutger Hauer.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, Rutger Hauer. It was just Rutger Hauer with fangs and contact lenses.
Oh, That's kind of well. Oh wow! I've never seen. I didn't even know that was around, and I love it. I'll check that out just because
Yeah.
I'll watch anything with Rutger Hauer in it.
Also, it also
What's up,
has
Spec?
yeah, it also has what's Rob Lowe as the writer.
Nice. Halo Spec, what's up? Hey JT, what's up? How is everyone?
Okay, so after Salem's Lot,
Lair of the White Worm, a 1988 British vampire movie. One of my favorites.
I just
Love
saw that.
this
I,
movie.
I just saw that. I just saw the Brendan Tennell's riff on that one.
Uh-huh. It's there's a lot of use of early CGI in it,
Mhm.
and but it's a sexy vampire movie. It's about seduction, and it's about being led astray, and it's about wow, there's a lot to seduction. It's a very sexy movie. It really is. And it's funny, and it's got a great ending. It's got Hugh Grant. Peter Capaldi is 30 years old in this movie, and he's great. He's brilliant. And Amanda Donahoe, she's this a British actress, amazing, beautiful woman. She plays the vampire, and just seduction is part of her charm on how to eat people.
Mm-hmm. She does get crazy when harmonicas are played around her.
Yeah, and the effective music, and it's based on a real British legend. So yeah, that's a good movie. Then we're doing Lost Boys,
Nice.
and
Nice.
then we're doing 1987's other vampire movie, Catherine Bigelow's Near Dark, starring Lance Hendrickson, Bill Paxton. It's not that great.
Yeah, I loved Near Dark. I loved it. They said it was like a vampire western.
Yes, yeah. I think it was. I think this movie was built around one scene. I think sometimes a director or a writer can see it in crystal vision. This beautiful, magnificent action scene. Now all we have to do is write a movie around it.
Yeah.
And that is Near Dark for me. And if you've seen like Matt Reeves, the Batman, I'm convinced that's the same thing happened. It's all about the Batmobile chase in Act 2, and the rest of the movie is written around
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I'll say it before I say it
like,
again. The Batmobile is the best character in the Batman.
The Batmobile is the best character in the Batman. I agree. I love the setup and the payoff to that. Like seeing the engine block, seeing it behind, because it really drives home. Bruce is a mechanic. Bruce is a scientist. Bruce is an engineer. Bruce is a detective. He's got a lot going on up here.
Yeah, and I think that they built a movie around around Deadpool. That one scene on the bridge, the freeway scene.
But yeah, so Near Dark, I believe the entire movie is built around the bar fight in Act 2. Where they just like all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And it's a really well done stunts and special effects and over the top vampirism and grotesque. Good. Yay. And it just lands bad. I mean, there's pacing problems, I think. It's a vampire movie. That's all it is. It's not gonna, but it got overshadowed by Lost Boys, which was a cultural phenomenon.
It was, yeah.
Man, that
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman,
the Corys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a Halloween related, but I for the life of me I cannot find this movie anywhere, and I don't know. I know it's not. I know I'm not imagining this, but there was a movie that I watched whenever I was a kid, and it was about these guys. I think they were traveling down to like South America or something. They are traveling abroad, and they go to this city, but at a certain time of year at night, the city basically turns into hell. All of and I don't know if you've ever seen. It
sounds like From Dusk Till Dawn.
No. This is kind of like a B, like a cheesy, like a cheesy movie, but I've searched everywhere for it, and I know it exists because I remember watching it, but I just cannot find it anywhere. And I know it's got to be. I've looked it up. I've tried to research it. I like to find it on the internet so many
Ooh,
times.
30 Days of Night is an interesting vampire movie.
Oh, JT just put that in the chat.
Yeah, but that's Alaska though, so that's not going on in
Yes,
South
that's one
America.
I've wanted to watch. I haven't seen that yet.
If you can get a used copy of the book, Ben Templesmith's art in that is it's harrowing. It's so
Wow.
beautiful, striking, moody. It's you know Templesmith's art.
No, I don't. Well, if I see
Ah,
it again, if I see it, I'll probably recognize
I
it.
mean, yeah, we should. It's one of the things. Yeah, look it up. 30 Days of Night. It's a great vampire story. It's about Barlow, Alaska, and how one night a year it's 24 hours of night, or no, 30 days of night. I mean, for a whole
Ooh,
month.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, this
it's
has been on my to watch list. Oh, I know this guy's work. Yeah, I know it.
yeah. Oh gosh,
Wow,
it's
it's wicked, isn't it?
moody and
Yeah,
great use of just of the horrific.
yeah.
Who are
Good
we talking
stuff.
about?
It's beautiful.
Ben Templesmith's art and the original 30 Days of Night. It got adapted into a movie, which was a pretty decent movie.
Yeah. Well, I love that movie. Pretty decent. It was good.
I've only seen it once, but I've read the shit out
I
of
haven't
the
seen
book.
it yet. I gotta watch it.
I think. Did he do the
wrote
Did you do the sequel of it of 30 Days of Night?
I don't think there was. Was there a sequel?
Yeah, there was there was a comic book sequel.
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah.
I know that 30 Days of Night was also in the Infestation.
Steve Niles wrote that. That's right. He's a really good horror writer.
I know that 30 Days of Night was also in the Infestation, the second Infestation arc of IDW.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many movies I want to watch. Oh, I was going to ask you guys, have you seen what was it, Babadook?
No, I have not.
Babadook, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not. It's on my list.
I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
It was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, creepy is good.
Yeah. It was. I've only watched it once. I made a mistake of like kind of sitting down and watching it by myself, and I was like, "Oh, man, I'm freaked out now." Turn on all the lights in the house.
There are some movies that I won't watch, like the Purge movies. I don't want to watch those. I
don't have any interest in watching like Saw movies.
Yeah,
like those aren't they don't do it for me.
Oh my god!
But I know there are people out there that's their genre. They like it, but I
actually seen all the Saw movies.
They have a fan base.
I actually enjoy them because of I enjoyed the Giallo movies.
Mm-hmm. Good point. And also, like, you can see this genesis from like Dr. Fives
to
Saw and Seven. You know what I mean? Like this. I can see like this evolution, but
and
I like the subtlety though of Fives, and it's arty too.
Also, it also had also with the Fives had some connections to the Pit and the Pendulum.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes. That was a movie too. I saw that when I was.
Yeah, these movies you see when you're a kid. I remember seeing Vincent Price in The House of Wax in 3D at the movie theater. It got re-released in the early 80s. And it was just like, a cheesy 3D movie, you know, red, blue, and camera tricks. Scary movies, huh? Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that.
I actually saw that, and the part that always got me was when Vincent Price's character was giving a tour tour through the wax museum, and when he brought up the macabre, one of the women actually kept fainting. I thought that was
Steve
funny.
Niles, he writes really good horror comic books. I got to meet him at a Boston Comic Con 2015.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just wanted to come up to you and say thank you. And he was like, oh, you're welcome. He's just like, that's it. I didn't have anything signed or anything. I didn't bring a book of his. I didn't even know he was there. I just ran into his table. I'm like, Steve Niles? I love your stuff. That's the cool thing about cons. I just love talking to the creators and being like, if you have a moment and you can connect with them over their stuff.
Right now, I'm looking through some of the Japanese myths, and one of the biggest ones that came out like this past millennium, which was really popular during the 70s, was the slit mouth woman, or the I I don't know, but people were afraid to, like, it got so bad that this like myth actually got so bad that people actually had children, had people had volunteers actually walk children home
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to
huh?
and
Talk about
from
social
school.
contagion, huh? Social
Yeah,
contagion.
yeah,
Indeed.
Hey, Bandito.
yeah.
I don't know if you heard me ask Eric this question or not, but I'm trying to
I
think of this. Did
I
you
was
hear him?
probably yeah. I probably was in the bathroom.
Yeah,
All right.
no. There's this horror movie I saw when I was really young, and it was about I can't remember if it was two men. It might have been two men or three men. They're like a tourist in I think it was South America,
Mm-hmm.
or it
Mm-hmm.
might have been either South America or Italy. I can't remember which one it is. But they go to this town, and it seems like a normal town, but
Mm-hmm.
at night on a certain whenever they visit, it turns into hell, and like demons and Satan come out and stuff like that, and one of his friends gets caught and is like
Mm-hmm.
sacrificed. Have you ever seen this movie? Does it
Hmm.
ring a bell?
No, not really. I mean,
Mm.
the closest thing that it actually reminds me of is the Dagon would be Dagon, which is
Dagon?
Dagon, but that's an adaptation of Shadow over Innsmouth, and I don't think that's what you're thinking of.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. It's like I'm pretty sure I didn't imagine this movie. You know what I mean?
Or
I'm
some
Yeah,
pretty
Mandela
sure.
effect,
I know, man,
it,
but it's weirding me out because I've been trying to find it for like the last 10 years, and I just can't find it anywhere. But I remember the plot. I remember like what you know. I think it came out around the same time as what was it? Was it Pumpkinhead?
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin. Yeah, I remember Pumpkinhead, Lance
Yeah, yeah,
Henriksen.
yeah. Like around that time,
Man,
man.
I gotta
Uh,
get Rawhead Rex for next year.
There
That
was
that
there's
movie's
actually
kind of awful.
yeah there's actually there's a there I don't know, there was a horror movie that came around your area, Ninja,
uh-huh.
called Shiori-san.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about it, but it's kind of like The Ring,
Uh-huh.
but kind of like a cur. It's kind of like it. The thing is that it's if you hear this legend, and if you hear the name that the legend is about,
Uh-huh.
then then the ghost knows what you are, where knows that you know its name, and it will
Mm-hmm.
come to kill you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it came out in 2019.
Huh.
Stars Marie Itoyo,
Uh, yeah, I'm not familiar with the name.
Yu Inaba, and Nabe.
Uh-huh.
My crap. How do you pronounce it? Let me
Oh, here, what's the name of the movie called?
share. Hang on. Let me put it on chat right now. Right there.
Shirai-san.
Yeah,
Right, Shirai-san. Oh, hold on a
yeah,
second. It stars Marie Itoyo, Manami Enosawa, Yu Inaba, Sawa Nimura, Shugo Oshinari, and Mitsuki Tanimura.
yeah. There. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you read those things so simple.
Yeah. It's not perfect pronunciation, but it's close enough.
Yeah. The character is known for having big eyes and a bell through its hands, and
Okay.
it is very freaky. It looks very freaky. I mean, it actually sounds kind of silly, but it looks the story and the entire premise is very scary. Kind of like the restless. One of the things that you should look into, Eric, for next year's 31 Days is like the Halloween is like the Japanese ghost movies of restless spirits, like the original Dark Water or Ringu, or
Ringu was pretty
or even
pretty
Ju-on,
good.
or even Ju-on.
I'm looking through all of these Italian horror movies from the 80s, thinking that I might find the one that I was looking for.
Yeah, you may have it may be in there actually.
It might have been an Italian movie.
Wait, is it The Devil's Reign with William Shatner?
The Devil's, what's it called? The Devil's Reign? 1975 film. Let's check it out. It was one of the stars of the other cast. Okay.
Because the premise kind of sounds familiar to that.
Huh. A little different, maybe. Well, I don't know. Huh. Actually, it does kind of sound like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. The premise does sound like it.
The Devil's Reign. If I saw some stills from it, I'd be able to. Let me see if they got some on YouTube. The Devil's Reign. Dude, if this is it, I'm gonna be like,
yeah, you have come to the healing energy of geekdom, where you have found your kung fu movie a couple of weeks back.
I think it's yes. The
elemental ninjas.
The five element ninjas. Yeah.
Yes.
I went back and watched it as well.
Yeah.
It's
terrible, huh?
I still enjoy it.
Exactly.
No, I think this is different. Yeah. This is different.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm checking out right now. They've actually got the whole movie on YouTube.
Yeah, this was actually John Travolta's first ever movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this is going to probably be an Italian movie, man. I have this feeling. It's one of these. What's this? No, not the monster. Florence.
Maybe it was. Let's see. City of the Living Dead.
See, that's another one that kind of popped up, but the Living Dead. That's an Italian movie, right?
Yeah, it was made. It was made by one of the greatest horror directors of Italian, Lucio Fulci, one of the greatest horror movie directors of Italian cinema.
Let me see if this one's working out. If I see the trailer, I'll know it if that's the one or not. City of the Living Dead. It's called City of the Living Dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. No, I don't think that's it. Man, I'm kind of thinking maybe I imagined this movie. That's so weird. No, it's not this one because it takes place in like an old style city. It's like an old city. It's an old looking city. So there's like a lot of the old architecture. You've got your pillars and everything. Yeah, Maybe I imagined this movie. If I did, it's a great movie. I should
Why
make it.
don't you check the Full Moon catalog?
The Full Moon catalog.
Yeah, Roger Corman's movies.
Full Moon features.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because they actually did a lot of their movies in Romania.
I'm gonna have to go on a deep dive and try to find this somewhere again.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh well. There we go. Hey guys, it's hitting 1:30 in the morning here,
Indeed.
and I finished this page. So
Congratulations.
yay!
Progress. You're getting
Another-
shit done.
Yeah.
Well, I can actually get these pages done a lot quicker, but whenever I'm just sitting here, I'm just kind of like, I just get lost in it, and it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hoping to get 2 done tonight, but this will be fine.
Yeah.
This is a solid page. So
Nice.
yeah. So guys,
Well, thank
yeah,
you so
we're
much
gonna
for
end it
being
there.
a great
Yeah.
host and having
dude,
us
you
on.
guys do the stuff. I just sit here and paint while you guys talk.
And it looks great. I mean, nice skin tones.
Yeah.
Nice light. I mean,
Yeah.
I like art. I like
Yeah.
seeing it come
Yeah.
together.
I
Yeah.
like the feeling that of creepiness that guy has.
Yeah, I'm really trying to.
The pencil thin mustache, and you can see
And the thing is, the color, the
reflection in his
camera
eye.
doesn't do justice to the color either. But it kind of does right here when you get close up
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to keep
Nice.
it simple. Thanks, Angry Canadian. Well,
Indeed.
thank you guys again for always hanging out.
Well,
and
cheers. Have a
I
great
appreciate
week.
it. Yeah, you guys too, man.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Anything
Alright.
you guys want to plug?
I'll be on Ryan Roger Athe's channel at 6:00 Eastern tonight.
Sweet.
Yeah, part
I'm
2 of our reality-based show, content creation for content creators, and what works, what doesn't work, our personal stories and anecdotes.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'll try to get there to watch that, man.
if you can, yeah, come on
Yeah,
by. Everyone's
will do.
welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bandito?
Well, I'm going to tell this is to Angry Canadian. I'm working on a couple more pages. Hopefully, I could get these done by tonight. And I just finished editing all the current pages that I've sent you, that
Nice.
you sent me, and I'm actually starting the storyboard process right now. So,
Cool.
so hopefully I could get those pages to you tonight, and I'll send you one of the first storyboard page, a couple of the storyboard pages I'm working on.
Ooh, look at that page. Ooh.
Yeah, that's another page I did today.
Wow.
That's like yeah.
All right.
Well, awesome.
Cool.
Good to see everybody,
Yep.
and we'll see you
Yeah.
again later, okay?
Yeah.
All right,
Have a
guys.
great week. See
Have
you
a good
later.
one.
Thank you.
Take
All right.
care. Bye-bye.